it or not, super with the first and only fans rooting on this round of the
Everyone, if you hate snakes, then this snake will end it here for the double kill versus Kyrie on the back of this fight. Cancel Francis Ford conceding.
Welcome everybody to the University Esports Open VALORANT broadcast. I am Hannah and I am joined by Bigfoot. Say hello, sir.
Hello everybody, how's it going? How are you doing, Hannah? You alright?
I am doing amazing. Yes, glad to hear you are as well, Bigfoot. We are here to cast a best of 3 in VALORANT, and we can reveal that the teams are going to be Bristol Bagres, I believe is the pronunciation. I'm no expert. Maybe you could try it, Bigfoot, see if you can get it better than me. But there you go, you can roll your R's. Already way more successful. Versus Korean Pop Superstars, which I believe is University of Sheffield. So Bristol versus Sheffield on the cards. Oh, Staffordshire. Sorry, I've just been corrected there. Staffordshire versus Bristol is on the cards for us today. And I believe as well that the winner of this best of 3, Bigfoot, will go on to claim at least 3rd place in this tournament. Of course, they'll be going on to the upper bracket final, but at worst, they could come 3rd, which does mean that they will have cash in hand at the end of this tournament.
It's a pretty comfortable position to be in, to be honest, but they will be gunning for that 1st place, so they'll have to win round 2, moving forward to round 3, and then onwards after that to the finals. Bristol managed to knock down Kiel Krakens, and the Popstars knocked down X-Rated. Bristol won 13-8 and Popstars won 13-9, so they were quite close fights, you know, they weren't entirely one-sided. Bristol Bagels against Korean Popstars where we're heading, and Bristol were one of the teams I was following in the past couple of weeks. I was just sneaking my way into a couple little lobbies trying to see what these teams are up to these days. It's been a little while since I was involved in these leagues, and it was good to watch, to be honest. I saw a 20 bomb get dropped with an ace from slicing, so Bristol Bagres, pretty good team. And I didn't get a chance to watch Popstars coming into this, but they, looking at their stats and previous standings and stuff, they seem to be doing really well right now, so I think we're in for a bit of a match.
I mean, there's a few things pointing towards Bristol Bagres here as the favourites. They are coming in as Seed 1, and we should be able to show you the bracket in a second here. They are at the top. Of course, they played Kiel Krakens, who were Seed 8. So obviously the favourites in that one. And now they'll be playing Korean Pop Superstars, who I believe are Seed 4 coming into this playoff stage. So Bristol are the favourites. Additionally to that, they, I believe, came 2nd last season, so they are gunning for that top spot, and they do have that previous playoffs experience of making it to that final. So they're definitely going to be gunning for a win here in this best of 3. But I don't think Korean Pop Superstars are going to let them get away with it too easily. They did shut down X, as you say, 13-9, and I'm sure they'll be looking to do similar scorelines here in the best of 3. But again, I believe this is the first best of 3 that teams have played this season, so this will be quite telling to see how the rest of the playoffs will go for sure.
Yeah, and Korean Pop Superstars, they've been a team since the 2023 summer split, which they won, and they've gone at least top 8 in all other university competitions, including top 3 in NSE in the most recent winter splits. They have been doing pretty good. Unfortunately, did not end up in the lobby with them in the 2 weeks leading up to this, so it'll be the first time that I've seen this lineup play. I have seen Korean Pop Superstars back in 2022, but we're talking about a whole bunch of different players now. As students come and go from universities, some of these lineups change around quite a bit. Here we have the roster here. Ray's on the slicings. That's the player I said I saw catch an ace and a 30 bomb on Lotus against PHL a couple weeks ago. So that's a player to watch out for, as well as saw some really, really high kill counts from Coleman too coming into this. But the mystery players I haven't had a chance to watch recently: Diamood, Nuka, Zion, Dash, and Zen. 5 players that we're going to be watching out for. I mean, they've played well to get this far, so they should be able to make at least a fight for Bristol Bagres.
Yeah, from what I've heard, I believe Zen is the star player to watch out for on that Korean Pop Superstars side, and not playing the duelist from the looks of it. And usually expect those star players to be on that aggressive duelist pick, but maybe we'll see something different today with Zen on the I think the initiator and the sentinel sort of flex pick. We'll have to wait to see when we do get to the maps as to what Zen is going to pick up there, but that definitely a player to pick up for. And again, even I've heard the name Slicings before. Yes, you mentioned the ace before. I'm sure Slicings will be delivering many a clip during these potentially up to 3 maps that we do have tonight, and it will be a pleasure to see as much of him as we can. But yeah, it should be on for a good game, as you say, Bigfoot, and the loser of this game will be heading down to the lower bracket with an absolute very solid chance. I do think both these teams pretty high in the seeding and look to be performing quite well. Very good chance that they do come back up, maybe get into that lower bracket final, maybe head up to that upper bracket final, and potentially some kind of a rematch further down the line. But that's still a fair few weeks off, I would say. But I mean, I know you haven't seen much of Korean Pop Superstars, but you've seen a fair bit of Bristol Bagres. Would you be predicting them? You know, they are on the numbers, on the stats. They are kind of the favourites coming into this matchup. But would you say that they're your one to win here?
Probably from what I know, but with the full information, I might make a different call on that. Slicing's got an ace in both games that I watched.
Okay.
And one of them was like pretty clutch. I think it was 2 players down, and then the rest of the team died, and the next 3 kills came in clutch there. So yeah, definitely got a really powerful duelist on the side of Bristol Bakers, but like we say, keep an eye out on Zen, the one to watch. We've been told to keep an eye out for this player moving forward, and interesting to see what they pick as well. It says in their team notes here they've got some of the strangest role players that'll switch like Sova to Viper, etc. Like just mishmash on their positions. Sova to Omen or Raze to Viper. Like we've seen some mishmashes like that, but when I was watching Bristol, it did seem pretty solid that Slicings would play on the Raze, and then Japanese Denim was on the controller role. Coleman, Killjoy, a lot of Killjoy, some really, really good Killjoy from Coleman actually. A 4K and a pistol round I saw playing off the back of their util. So I'm glad I managed to get into some of these matches leading up, because these are quite a few new players to me. Haven't seen many of these players play before, so it's been nice to get to know them. And I do expect a lot from tonight, and I think Korean pop stars are going to have to keep their game together and have some strats if they want to overcome Bristol.
Yeah, and obviously one thing to mention for Korean Pop Superstars is a lot of these players are in their 3rd and final year of university. So unless they make some crazy decision and decide to go for the PhD, the Masters or whatever that some of us may be doing, but they are going to have pretty much one more shot at claiming a spring title. Of course, there may be summer or something later down the line for them, but if they want to get a real main season event title, this is their chance now to put themselves in that upper bracket by beating the favourites here today and potentially make their way to that grand final if they can win that one as well. So it would be a good opportunity for Korean Pop Superstars, and potentially they're feeling that pressure now. This is their last chance to show themselves off as a top contender for this title, right?
Yeah. Just going to take another look at the bracket here. I don't think they've been fully updated before, so now you see it. Bristol against Korean Pop Superstars, Royal Bears against PHL there moving forward. And there is, of course, the lower bracket as well to move forward through. Those big ones on the right, that will be the final. So for Bristol, it might be just two games to secure their place. Moving forward. And Royal Bears, another team I didn't get to watch, but PHL were looking really good until they came up against Bristol. So I saw PHL look absolutely dominate Swansea 13-4 on Lotus, but then when they came up against Bristol, it was flipped back around. And Bristol, that was the game where Slicing's got 30 kills.
I mean, 30 kills from one player is it's quite a difficult object to surpass. If you're PHL facing up against that, you've got to be able to shut that player down, and that is not always easy, especially when it's as a player of Slicing's caliber. One thing to mention from that bracket as well, Royal Bears, I believe, are the 2nd seed coming to this event. They will be playing PHL, and if everything goes as expected today, that will be the upper bracket final next week, potentially Bristol vs Royal Bears. But maybe Korean Pop Superstars, maybe Staffordshire, maybe they can upset this top seed. Again, this should be quite an interesting best of 3, as there is a lot on the line for both of these teams, and they're both, I'm sure they're both very, very keen to take a quick victory here. They don't want to be playing, I'm sure, as people have experienced before, those lower bracket games can be a real slog. You suddenly have 4, 5 best of 3s to make that grand final compared to just 1 or 2 if you win here today. It's definitely a bit of a demotivator in the long run, is when you're knocked down to that lower bracket, especially early on from your first best of 3, can be quite rough going on through the next few weeks, where you've got to slog it out against all the other teams in that lower bracket. So there is definitely some good reasons to try and take a win here today and keep it up in that upper bracket.
Yeah, a lot on the line, like you're saying. Some of these players graduating from university. I will be myself, and I think you will be too.
Same.
The seasons are changing, and it would be very nice to get a first place trophy on the shelf before you pack university in, of course. A lot of these players will go on to living lives without competitive esports, I expect, in years to come. This might be the start of a long chapter, a long book for some of them. It might be the final in a chapter in a story for some of these players. So yeah, it's hopefully go out with a bit of a bang and secure this victory against Bristol Bakers. Might be a little bit of an upset, as you said, statistically coming into this. They do look a little bit more comfortable. They had 11 victories, 33 points means 11 wins coming into this. That's so many.
11 victories, that is pretty dominant. But we should be able to take a look at the vetoes for this upcoming game. Now let's have a chat about this. There's not going to be any Lotus here at Bigfoot, so there's not going to be any more of these 30 bombs from Slicings, but we do have Bind for map 1, Sunset for map 2, and Icebox, the last map, the decider if we need it, map 3.
Yeah, I mean, they look pretty comfortable on Sunset as well. I didn't quite get up to 30, but Slicings did get that clutch ace. S1M had 17 kills, and we also had St. Woofling on 16. That was against Exeter, who only managed to get 4 points on the board. And even though you had Exeter's player X-Ray with 21 kills, same amount of Slicings, they only got 4 rounds on the board because Bristol were just so dominant on Sunset last time I watched them. I haven't had a chance to see them on Bind this season, so it's nice that we get to go there. And Icebox as the third map is a little bit of an upset there, especially when it's looking like Breeze. You don't want to get that confused. But yeah, so obviously Bristol will be trying to secure this out in the first 2 rounds, and K-pop trying to keep them going a little bit longer. If not finishing out themselves in 2 rounds. But I think K-pop are going to bring something interesting to the table here, and we probably will see full 3 maps today.
I am excited certainly to see that map 2, Sunset. Not a map I've got to see a lot of over the last few months, so I'm very keen to see how the university teams do play it, and then always keen to see Icebox. I don't know, it's one of my favourites. Obviously the core 3 from back in the day in the beta are definitely up there, but Icebox, really, really fun map for me. And when it was out of the competitive pool, I was a bit upset, not getting to see that map and see the rotations. And I've got so many fond memories of watching teams like that infamous Fnatic run last year, where they flipped it around at the last moment and pulled off an incredible comeback. Only possible on a map like Icebox. Obviously, we might be able to see that if we get to map 3 here today, but that could be a long way off. We've got 2 big maps to get through first, of course, Bind and Sunset. Bind, definitely a classic of the map pool, and one that I think I've seen it as one of the most played maps of every single university season that I've commentated. It's just so popular in the top teams, and hopefully we'll see a good game here on Bind, as I imagine both teams are ready for it. It'll be a weird team that doesn't have a setup, or at least aren't comfortable on Bind, right?
Yeah, of course. It's an absolute staple of the map pool. Very, very good map for a player like Slicings to pull out the Rays. Used to see a lot of Sky, but with Sky's recent nerfs, that might have changed a little bit. But I did see Cataclysm playing Sky a couple of weeks ago, just getting some good headshots with the Classic in there, but only 9 kills by the end of it, and statistically we have seen Sky's pick win rate go down a lot, so it might not be used too much tonight, but of course the meta on Bind is pretty solid. It's been set quite high in Tier 1, but the Tier 1 meta is a little bit different to University meta, where we often see Viper Omen mixes. We sometimes just see the single controller in the University teams, maybe the Brimstone, maybe just the Viper, and rarely, sometimes even just the Omen. But seeing the Tier 1 meta bleed down to University doesn't always happen. We have a little bit of our own meta going on here, and I'm actually very curious to see what the controller situation will be in these agent picks.
Yeah, I'm actually quite interested to see what Zen does decide to pick up in this agent picks. We've already seen that little bit of information saying that that player could play a variety of different things. So hopefully we can hop into agent select in just a few moments. and start to see what these players are going to lock in. Straight away, Bigfoot Slicings looking to hover that raise. It's already locked in. No surprise there. The star player for Bristol Bagres on the due list straight away. Zen as well for the Korean Pop Superstars. The other star player we'll look out for, also on the raise.
And the controller situation is just singular Brimstones.
That is interesting. No Viper Walls at all. No
Viper, no, sorry, Japanese Demon missed. Japanese Demon, I take it back. So, Brim Viper, very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes, and of course, on the opposite side, that means they've got a little bit more in the way of utility outside of those smokes. We've got the Cypher for the site plays. We've got the Raze and the Jet, the double duelist on this side. Bristol Bagres do not have that offensive capability at this time. And Korean have picked up the Sky. Now, the nerfs to the Sky flashes were pretty significant. The lack of regeneration is very, very damaging for that agent. I think it has a lot less flexibility, especially towards the end of rounds. You just suddenly you don't have any flashes left if you've not been conservative with them. So something to watch out for to see how they play that.
Does look like it's going to be a pretty solid B push here. Bristol Big is holding down long, trying to. That's one flash, like you said. It's not charging. It's already gone. The dog's here, just hovering around on the edge. It's going to jump down and get a good connect there. So it's actually going to force players back from B long. Korean Pop Stars, their first attack has been thrown back in their face. They make this rotation now. Does look like the spike's still heading towards Hooker.
Yeah, they have got that Viper Wall up across Hookah and Long in case this B-pop does come out, but it looks like they're leading a few players over towards A. That is where the Cypher tripwires are, and if they try and go for some sort of fake before going back through that teleporter, they will get caught out potentially by that tripwire. I'm not sure if it's going left to right or up to down at the moment. But no, it looks like it's going to be a straight B hit, and from the looks of things, there are 3 players here ready to defend. It's all going to be on if they can find these entries and trade out effectively. They do have the numbers. Do they have the utility as well?
I mean, Hooker Flood is a solid tactic these days in the meta, but you actually do have to flood. You can't trickle in. It's got to be an explosion. And right now, when half the team enters and a couple players stay inside, it's not going to go too well. And there we have it. Slicing's finishing off through the wall to take down Diamuid, and Bristol Bagels only lose 1 player in this first round.
They certainly do, and they're going to be quite happy with that result on the defensive side. On these second rounds, they can now afford, they have the shields left over from the first, they can buy up these SMGs, they can start to think about how they're going to play the second round with a bit of range. We do see that Zen opting potentially to buy a Stinger there. That could be interesting. With those blast packs, they can make a lot of progress up towards that A short position.
Going to be a bit of an explosion here on the side, but in this save round, got to get these early picks off. They've taken so much space, but still 5 players standing for each side. We've got Zion making this push with the Stinger. The further back Zion gets, the more likely they will be to be able to catch someone off guard. Slicing's right here, though, and coming up against Slicing's, no matter what gun you've got, Slicing's, yep, easily takes down Dash. Coleman takes down Diamond and Zen. Dash managed to get 1 kill there, but yeah, finally, Coleman's going to finish off Nuka so washed, and yet again, Bristol only used 1 game.
They're going to be very happy with that 2-0 start, not really losing 2 players, as you say. They're very important to keep that up. I think a lot of teams, they get quite confident in that second round, don't they? They start running down players, they start chasing for those kills towards the end of the round. Very rarely worth it, because taking a little bit of damage or even losing just 1 gun can be a little bit upsetting to that economy, especially going to third round. You don't really want to buy up a gun in third round. You'd rather just keep yours, play the bonus, and see how you can do with those SMGs. But this is the chance now for the Bristol Bagres to solidify their lead. If they can upset Korean Pop with a victory here against these potentially this full buy, they should be able to secure a couple more rounds and cement a lead here in the first half.
little bit of a miss there with the Outlaw, but a solid weapon in this added to the weapon pool. Really good to see an extra sniper rifle in the games. Changed the meta a little bit, especially in these sort of half-buy rounds. Looks like the push did go towards Hooker there, but there we have it. Slicings with the Outlaw. Zion with the Sheriff going to try and catch a headshot back, but not sticking around long enough in there. Unfortunately, going to miss the opportunity to trade out Slicings.
Dash does have the Sheriff in hand, and this could do a lot of damage if they can land the shots. Wolfing, though, in the middle of that smoke, might be able to pop out here and find some kills. Denim's found one. Denim's found a second. Spamming through the smoke is Saint Wolfing has found the other one, but Denim secures the third, and Bristol Bagres not losing a single player versus Korean Pop there and secure their bonus pretty much for free there, Bigfoot. That is a little bit of an alarming sight.
Yeah, and it looks like they might just be bonusing yet again, so their economy is going to be through the roof, but...
Yeah, I believe Korean, I think they might have forced the second round, because third round they did not have that buyout that I was expecting. So no, here in fourth round they've got those Vandals, they've got the guns in hand, and they'll be ready to fight off these SMGs. But if Bristol can pull it off again, Bigfoot, that would be an alarming sight. So we've really got to hope here that Korean can find something, and this push is exactly what they don't want to see. Slicing's trying to get in there straight away and find a fight.
Wow. Yeah, and 3 of Bristol haven't even died yet in 3 rounds, so extremely comfortable start to this map for them. Newcastle Watch will take down Slicings that overextended a little bit too much there. Saint Wolfling is right here as well, so now this overconfident early push is being dissected by Korean pop stars who do lose one player there. Diamu does get taken out, but Zion's there ready to trade, and it looks like Sight is going to be completely free to take, with only Coleman standing deep in the trenches over there in spawn area.
It's a tough peek.
Go down fairly easily, and what an easy headshot there for Zen.
Zen makes it look easy. Lovely little position there to hold CT. Very, very difficult for anyone to clear that as you walk out CT. There's too many other angles to look at. Really nice positioning from Zen. First kill of the game, surprisingly, but that does put Korean Pop on the board. Bigfoot. Very important to get at least a couple of rounds off the bat here, especially when you're playing into the bonus round like that. When they've got SMGs, this is your best shot at a round. Here's the real tell, though. Of course, I always like to say the first full buy round, both teams with all of the guns that they want. The Vandals in hand, the Phantoms in hand, the utility that they need. Problem for Korean is that Bristol Bagres have already got an ult up over here on Sim, and that Sky ult, that hasn't been nerfed. That is still incredibly powerful if used in the right place at the right time. And it looks like they want to try and maybe make a play towards long here. There are only 2 players there, and they could get a couple of picks with the fast push from the Rays. Potentially a Sky ult. That could be crazy powerful.
Yeah, taking this early space with some util is going to be good, but the spike's still down, so they are still playing the default attack, trying to get this early picked before making a decision of where to go. Does look like Diamuid's going to go pick up that spike, but whether Diamuid's going to come back to B or move around is another question. Got Newcastle Wash just hanging around next to Garden, just on the other side of the wall to Sim. They're so close, but looks like Spike's over towards Hooker right now. And there is another player. We do have Zion making their way up B long, so...
Out of charges. 30 seconds
Does look like it will be a B execution right now. Satchel into sight. Zen starts looking around, but Wolfling gets 2. Zion managed to pick 1 up, but Slicings is there as well. Dash takes down Coleman, but only 2 players standing now for Korean Pop Stars, and the spike's down on sight.
That's a really nice side defense. And with 12 seconds left on that time with the spike down, as you say, Bigfoot, this round is over and out. Bristol Bagres perform a wonderful B-site defense there. Only 2 players there, not much in the way of utility. Doesn't matter. They shut those players down as they dash on into sight. And Korean Pop, they are not able to build any momentum off that. They found their 1 round against that bonus. But straight away on the next rifle, it's straight back to Bristol Bagres, who still have actually that Sky ult, and they're very close to the Cypher ult on Coleman as well. Getting a little bit of a monopoly on these ultimates, although Korean may be able to match that soon with their own Sky, to be fair.
Still only 1 death. 1 death there for Slicings, 1 Japanese Denim, 5 rounds in. Diamood's died 5 times, unfortunately, so it's looking a little bit different on the other side of the scoreboard here, but...
What are you predicting kills-wise for Slicings?
Oh,
30?
I'll have to see,
25?
mate. I mean,
35?
we saw 30 off stream. Let's see if Slicers would definitely be happy with 30 on stream. The dog goes through the TP, gets a lot of info. Now Slicings is going to try and ult out of the...
no, this
out of
is
the hook,
terrible!
Taken down by a bunch of Unil then, no. Doesn't get anything off the back of the showstopper. Will get a grenade out into lamps as well. In the
They're
bathroom
stuck
as well.
in here.
But taken down from behind. So all that util actually goes to waste as Diamu's there making a lot of damage on that back line. Bristol Baker is losing 2 players now.
I love this rotation from Korean Pop. They found the 2 kills on the players that came to teleporter, and because those 2 players came through the TP, they know for sure that Long has got to be clear here. There's no way that Bristol will commit more than 2 players towards Long. That nuke is perfectly on spot. St. Woodley comes out, and Dash is holding it. That is terrible news for Bristol as Korean Pop have B site, start to get the plant down with that spike, and the flank is coming out from the Cypher already. Dash has found 1. Just 1 left for Bristol.
It's Dash versus Coleman, Cypher versus Cypher, and it's a bit of a long-range fight here. I think Coleman's just going to opt for holding Spawn for exit frags, and, you know, you're in a 1v5 situation, probably is the right call. Dash is going to set that camera up there, but yeah, it does look like a full save from Coleman, but yeah, maybe it's possible that Diamond can work his way all the way around the map to flank, but I don't think it's going to happen. Coleman's just going to hang around in Spawn here, get that Phantom saved. You know, for a team that had such a strong economy, it's not going to be much of a dint into it as they lose this round, but they were looking to steamroll a little bit further than 2 rounds ahead, I think, so I have to think about what they're up to right now.
Well, another one for Korean Pop. Going to be happy. Get 2 on the board. Their economy is actually looking quite nice as well here because they had that blip in the middle. They did have to rebuy, but that doesn't really matter because next couple of rounds they should be okay. The credits are looking quite comfortable. Even if they lose here, they should be on 5.5, 6k on most of their players. Quite comfortable here. So even though the lead is in favour of Bristol, Korean definitely in a little bit of more comfortable situation economically, and very important to see how this round does play out here. They get a lot of info off that Sky Flash, telling them that there are players in towards showers here, and Sim playing very far forward, gets 1, looking for more, does break the boom, but finds the second. That's huge. There's a kill onto Zen as well, and there's 1 more out there, but Sim gets out. That is a beautiful play.
Yeah, you would actually expect Bristol to maybe be punished for these overextensions, but they're working out so well for them when they get headshots like that. Dash making a move onto site now as well, but they're definitely aware that it's happening. Making their way past the snake bite. He's going to get past his cages as well. Japanese Denim hanging around inside hook is actually going to take this rotation around, coming off the back of B Long. Might be able to find Daimuid here.
They're worried about
the push back down from Long. Who's going to see first peek as advantage as Daimuid's looking hard around that corner. Doesn't expect Japanese Denim to have taken such a long route and maneuver around the map.
Oh, I don't think Dash... Maybe he did catch the back of him there. Denim is down and put into a 2v3 here. Denim maybe should have been a little bit more aware that there could have been a second player up towards Long. This spike now has an open avenue towards its A site, and Bristol do not know the location of Sky here, so they've got to be careful, and they can't just run in. They've got to clear out CT, they've got to clear out Heaven, and that gives Korean space to go for these plants. Once they hear the spike go down, though, they will be starting to charge in. Skyall is huge here, and it will find both players, tell them exactly where they are.
Oh my days, what a shot from Snooker Soul Wash there. Slicings does manage to trade out, but if Wolves can finish this off, nope, it's not at all when Slicings is on board. Easy kills for Slicings, and Bristol Baker is going to get another defuse here, solidifying their lead by 1 more round. Exactly what they wanted. They came in hard. Defense was looking so solid. It looked like they were really trying to get a solid lead, but Korean Popstars getting a couple on the board held them back, so they'll be comfortable coming back themselves.
I really, really like that push from Denim there. Knows the player has come out of Garden, drops the snakebite on towards that Long just to put a little bit of hesitation in their step. Knows that, not all of the players can be towards long. They've heard stuff on other parts of the map, so they can drop that snake bite and then they can start going for that flank. Their team is rotating through the spawn. They can start to head towards elbow. They've got so much time before they actually have to pull off a retake if the spike did go down. Really nice decision making there from Denim to choose that long route, that like end round play rather than going for the immediate kills, not greeding, as you would often see. I think a lot of university teams, once they get contact, they start to fight. They don't necessarily think about what the end round situation is going to look like. So nice stuff from Denim. Very, very passive round here though from the attackers. We've not seen this at all so far this game, but they are sitting right back waiting for the push, and this is the first round that Bristol's not going for it.
Yeah, they just, it was Sim and Slicings having a little scope around in Hooker, but they didn't really push too far out. They didn't make it as far as the Sands, and as we see all the Korean pop stars group up here onto A. Zion playing by themselves in bathrooms, showers. Japanese Denim takes out Dash as Dash makes their way onto site, so Bristol Bagers with all their team coming here, it's going to be a 5v4 retake if the spike even goes down, but oh my days,
huge
Zen
flash.
taken down so low, but gets 2 kills off the back of that smoke in the flash there. Nuka Soul Wash is going to get one as well, so now Coleman pushes onto site, trying to catch someone off guard. Will get a little tickle onto Zion, but Zion's still standing up in hand.
Trying to clear these angles, but there's a few too many players on site. Will get traded out, just the one player left, and that is of course Sim in towards that lamp's position. Knows where a couple of them are, but this is such a difficult angle to swing. You can't just swing one player at a time. Zion's holding the angle. Korean make a little bit of a comeback here as they get 2-3. Really, really nice play though from Sky and Zen there. Going with the flash straight into the blast pack to hop past the Viper's aim, get into that back corner, delivers 2 kills to their team, delivering that A site into their hands. And that's the kind of rounds that we need to see from Korean Pop a little bit more. Perhaps they're going to adopt this slow strategy a bit more. They're playing a kind of default. They're playing safe. They're playing back. They're holding the angles, waiting for Bristol to push in. Yes, last round, Bristol didn't really push much at all. It's not to say they won't this round, as we already see a flash out towards long. Info gathered. And Sim going to jiggle it for a bit here just to see how many players are going to start to make presence towards A. They are actually going to smoke long and hold it. Slicings grabbing the orb. That has delivered.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure here between who takes this B long right now. I mean, it seems like Bristol Bagers are pretty keen to keep hold of the control. But of course, if they just had the op where Zen was there, they might have got a free kill, but the op's still moving forward. It's going to start to clear out sight, but Bristol are aware of these sight lines and they're staying out of those lines. And I think the Boombot getting shot by Sim does give Sim's location away. Zen here with the showstopper will actually shoot straight into the smoke. Take down Slicings. Dash and Zen get another one, so it's looking pretty good for this side take. But Coleman striking back. But not before Dash and Zen finish out the final kill, going to Zen with a grenade on a
from beyond the grave. gets felled there, but lovely entries from Zen. I have to say, Bigfoot, you know, we're talking about Slicing's impact so far. Yes, Zen has less kills, but so far when they have found those 6 kills, 4 of them have been on these entries towards the back of that A site and then entering in through garden on B there, both times finding 2 kills and opening up that site pretty convincingly for the rest of their team.
Yeah, right now we see Bristol a save round, like, so something we haven't really seen so far. They're getting pushed onto the back foot here a little bit, but Sheriff in hand, Slicings is on the front foot, trying to move forward, trying to get an early headshot and an early pick, maybe even pick up a gun, but will get taken down by Diamood. Japanese Denim gets one with the stinger, but traded by Nukasaur Wash, and then Woofling with the Sheriff. So, considering it's a save round, that's a pretty comfortable start. 2 for 2, and also we got Nukasaur Wash on only 40 HP, can't heal himself, so yeah, nice start for Bristol Bagers.
Korean Pop have to think here, because if they do decide to walk towards B, they don't know A, where this cipher is, and B, they would also be giving up these rifles that are on the ground around A short now for these A players to take and then rotate straight through that teleporter to B. So really they're kind of forced to either hold here and wait for a mistake from Bristol, or they need to push on in and take A, because then they can actually hold those guns to the best of their ability. And Zion, as this smoke phase is going to start to walk forwards, that cipher gauge gives away to Bristol where They're thinking of going for this site. This AWP is so exposed, though, stuck here in the middle. Doesn't land the shot. Wolfling's found one. He's traded out, but still, look how low this Korean bot player is on Sky. And the rotate coming in. Cypher's here to deny it.
Oh, unfortunately, Dash will be the one with the sprays as Coleman misses with the Sheriff. So Newcastle Washed is going to get the spike down. And of course, it's only Japanese Denim standing for Bristol Bakers, who's making his way through Hooker right now. Newcastle Washed on very low health. Might be possible to get a kill here.
There is a Viper ult available as well. If they do want to drop it on the site, try and give themselves a little bit of advantage. But the time is ticking down. That's the problem here.
Yeah, it needs to do something, whatever it is. Something has to be done. Can't have spent all your time in Hooker. But now with that information there, could be possible to jump out and get one. It's one, but it won't be two as Dash trades out. Excellent duo play there from Newcastle Washed and Wolves. So they play together to secure that final kill and get that spike protected.
Good discipline there, indeed. Yeah, to play that 2v1. You know they have to jump out of Hookah, and you can absolutely just swing together there off the contact. Nice stuff, and a good recovery from Korean Pop. I have to say, a little bit worried there when we were looking at 3v3 with Newcastle Wash down on 40 HP. As you mentioned, starts to get a little bit dicey. But no, Bristol Bagras cannot pull off a miracle eco there. And they'll have to see what they can do now as these scores are equaled up. They do get attacked. I don't even know if they saw them through the smoke, but that was very quick reactions if they did. Plenty of ultimates up and available here. And actually as well, Korean Pop have been given showers this time around. Bristol Bagres, they really enjoy playing this 3 towards B setup, really heavily trying to keep this B long control and giving up showers because of it. That obviously they've still got Cypher in defense on A, which does give them a little bit more of a safety net on these pushes, but potentially Korean Pop could exploit that later in the half, get a fast A pop out. There might not be much of a defense waiting for them.
Yeah, I mean, Sim and Slicings look pretty good together with this front line, defensive front line. They've made some good pushes together. Sim has actually managed to just get the first little bit of info here. Dicing with Def doing these jump peaks. Diamood's going to send out the Molly, and doesn't really do much. But Slicing's making a push out with the Showstopper, going to do a tickle of damage, but not much there, unfortunately. Slicing's thought he had the read on them, but they managed to make their way out of the line of fire there. Coleman on the back of sight, not going to walk into the line of sight. It does look like it's going to have to be an A execute. 22 seconds left. Let's see if they can get away with this, getting onto site with their lives. But walking into a tripwire will be the end of Diamood there. Newcastle Wash made their way onto site. Have managed to get a blind off, so the spike will go down with 10 seconds to go, but Wolflin takes down Zion and Slicing's grenades. Newcastle Wash.
Lovely shot.
What a shot there from Wolflin. Another one?
Looking for another one.
Easy.
Triple kill for Wolfling there, and yeah, a great nade from Slicings landing on top of that plant. So that's the one thing with the spike, when the time is down like that, and they have utility to chuck on top of you. Very difficult to get out of that alive. Bristol Bagres secure 6. And every possibility here that they do take the lead in this half with 7. They do have pretty comfortable buy. They are trying to juggle around the guns here, I think, to find a buy for Denon. Now, that has been achieved. Korean Pop, they have their own, but Diamood on that Spectre, not exactly what you want to see. They're leaning very heavily towards B, and this round, Bristol only have 2 here. One of them is this Viper, who does have a lot of tactics with that ult, dropping it towards long. Bristol will be worried here.
That's where the push is actually coming in as well. They can't keep pushing up through this ult. It's a solid tactic, because once you take out the Viper, you know, you're laughing, but I think it's actually going to be the Viper doing the... No! Oh, wait. Japanese Denim gets one. Dash gets Japanese Denim out. Very, very good trade there. Now they can storm site. You know, people tend to play off the back of that Viper's pit being a secure area of the map, and they can go elsewhere. But if you can take down the Viper, as was done, you do open up so much space. And now you see the retake coming in from CT. But 4 players of Korean Pop Stars are standing on site, and they're looking pretty comfortable, with even Zion having the time to make a rotation through to Hooker. So this could be an awkward angle for Slicings and co as they make their way on the site. See, they think they've cleared Hooker now, but Zion's going to be there in a second.
They do have their flank being held by Cypher, but there's still so much to clear out and only one player left. Slicings will fall. Really nice round from Korean Pop, identifying that with that Viper Pit, if they walk in as 5, maybe they lose 2, but at least they'll probably get the site there with the 3v1 left over. And they managed to get through with just 1 loss. Really smart play, to be honest, from Dash to walk through the back of that Viper Pit, expecting Viper to back out instantly. 14-6, that Cypher right now. That is a strong scoreline.
Attack side Cypher.
Yeah.
Fragging out 5 times, 5
often.
kills more than Slicings, our famed 30 bomb dropper from a couple of weeks ago. And you've got an attacking
It's a different
Cypher.
game. It's a different game in the playoffs bracket, you know.
Yeah, man.
Best of 1s, anything can happen, Bigfoot. But here in best of 3s, you're playing against good teams. And none of these players are slouching. Dash definitely putting on a brilliant performance so far, but all important now, the second half. Here we are in the pistol. Early contact towards this Showers area. Sim and Slicings, they're going to be pushing in. They've been a dream duo over towards Long, and first tap straight away onto Zion.
Yeah, really good there. And see a similar sort of duo on the side of Korean Pop Stars. You know, you've got Zion and Yuka Wash playing together. Sometimes Zen joins the mix as well. But that's the big difference between Korean Pop and Bristol Bagels, because they've got the Korean Pop with the double duelist. And then, of course, Bristol Bagels with the double controller. It's quite different setup.
Really good push there up A short to heard the spot, the Sky dropped the dog there and just ran out and tapped them. Ran straight past the dog. Nothing he could do. Korean Pop right now in a man advantage, in a 2-man advantage, and looking for more, but Slicings has found both of the last Bagras players towards the back of that site. Korean Pop looking strong so far.
Yes,
sorry, no, that's Bristol Bagras, I believe. I think the nameplates may have swapped around, maybe confused. Slicings is on Bristol Bagras, no? So that should be Bristol Bagras 7-6 up right now. Well, as we go on into the second round of the half, I'm seeing some Bucky buys. And I don't know what they're memes, and one of them isn't, and I love this. Bigfoot, I cannot wait to see where this goes and what it tries to do. Diamond desperately trying to shoot that, but it cannot. Has to get some assistance by Zion there on site.
There we go. Names are fixed. Apologies for my mistake there as well, but we move. Right now, it looks like the solid triple smoke's going to go down on the A site, clearing out so much of sight.
Here's a
As
shorty.
you can see, Korean Pop Stars in spawn. Wolves dash there with the shorty, trying to get a kill, but will be sprayed down with the Spectre from Sim. And yeah, so much control taken now by Bristol as Korean Pop Stars are spread out across the map. Not really sure what they're going to do here.
Just look at the control that Bristol has. So they've got Showers, they've got all of the site, they've actually got towards Lamps and back towards A short as well. The retake angles are pretty sparse here for Korean Pop, who are going to run through. I think what they're going to try and do is get Zen out here with the Bucky and just look for some exit kills, because they can farm the cash up with that Bucky. And it's not like a retake is going to make anything happen here, so they're going to look for the exits from these A players, and this could be very successful if timed right.
This could be hilarious. Zion gets one.
They're going through the teleporter, and I don't think there's anything they can do. Is Zench going to die?
Yeah.
Goes for the death to get that extra cash in the bank.
See, there's no need to exit off-site through CT or T side when you've got a teleporter to a safe little... a safe. It's like a banking vault, isn't it? Once you teleport through there, there's not really much anyone can do. They can chuck a grenade in, but as you saw, Zion came pushing through with the classic and just got sprayed down instantly. But now we do have Korean Pop Stars getting their buys on the board. 4 Spectres there from Bristol Bagers and Bulldogs. So with those full armors, I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull something off, but definitely a slight disadvantage.
Certainly, the molly early off from Korean just to keep control of Showers for a little bit longer. They can obviously hear that audio cue with Sim burning, I think, for a tiny portion of damage. That means Diamond gets a little bit antsy on those angles. Denim has got very, very far up here towards A, but we're seeing a very passive round, like what we saw, I think it was round 5, round 6 from Korean Pop, when they played it very, very slow. Bristol doing the same thing. They have walked into Showers with 2, now they're going to back on off spike all the way back towards the spawn, but Coleman falling towards long, not the ideal start right now. And it looks as if a regroup is going to come out towards A. There may be an execute in towards Lamps. Just looking at Denim's wall right now. Korean, they're starting to read this. They do now have 3 stacked here towards A.
It's going to be an interesting execute. Slicings here needs to get this kill, but will be taken down by Diamuid. So unfortunately, especially as Diamuid gets Chapman's Denim as well, and same Woofling, it's looking absolutely dire for Bristol Bakers. They do get 1 kill there, Sim with a Spectre. I mean, I thought with 4 Spectres in hand stacked together, they might be able to do a little bit more than that. But now Sim with just 16 HP, going to try and catch 1 player off guard. Probably going to be the best they can hope for.
Not much going to come out of this round, and Korean should be able to get 7. And well, they're going to be quite comfortable with that. 4 players alive at the end of that round. Starting to build up something here on this defense, or potentially able to build up something. I won't say that off 1 round they've necessarily built anything yet, but they can get some momentum here if they can just win this round coming up. That is, of course, round number 16. If they can win this, that puts Bristol on the back foot. They won't have the economy to buy at 8-8, so we should see a Korean lead. If they can win this one here, they should get the next one and start to take charge of this game, of this map that they've been a little bit behind on pretty much throughout the last 15 or so rounds. Could be an opportunity for them to take the lead, set the pace, see what they can do. Oh, this is bold from Diamuid. On the right timing, this could be huge. But I think both these players have their guns out.
But no, Slicings comes bursting out. Does manage to take Zenal, but Diamond keeps on pushing, taking Slicings there. So they got us down to 3 players. Very, very interesting play from the pop stars there.
I really like it though, coming straight through that teleporter outside of B long with the dog and teleporting straight on through helps so much with that player that's walked into that shower smoke. And of course, because of how the smokes work, you can see inside the smokes. There's no chance of anyone walking past you. You've got a lot of security in that play. There's very little chance of that going wrong unless you really do mistime it. And they've clearly done it before. They've clearly worked out their timing because that was perfect.
Oh, we saw the util. It was a clear read what the plan was, but even with 2 players sidestepping out, they managed to, just keep pushing. Korean pop stars now completely relying on what Dash can do here. Dash stuck inside Hooker behind a smoke as well with 3 players on site. It's not looking good, is it?
It's a rough retake, I've got to say. 1v3 from this kind of position.
Oh,
not going to be doable as Bristol
not at all.
Go back up to a 2-round lead. And really nice play from them there, holding on to that B site very well. You know, once they get into that after plant there, it's pretty much all over. They know exactly where they're going to be playing, how they're going to be trading out for players coming towards Hookah. I mean, it's so difficult to retake from that angle. It is so difficult because the moment you make any kind of noise, all 3 of those Bristol players are swinging you, and I don't think anyone can win that duel. It does look, does Bristol want to change it up a bit here? They've been playing a bit safe the last few rounds, but now they want to start to head 4 towards B long, just leaving the Cypher to hold their back. They will be discovered by Nuka's flash, but does Nuka know how many players are up this long position? There are 4 real close. There's only 2 players on B right now. This could be terrible.
Oh, we do see a pretty fast execute here. Zion will go down. Zion tried to get away from Hooker to the back of site, but was spied when they dashed across, so did actually take some unnecessary damage there. Maybe holding down Hooker a little bit longer would have worked well, but as Sim pushes onto site, getting 2 easy headshots now to take control of that back corridor. And we just have Zen standing in spawn. Bristol, Bargrays. We got the official pronunciation through now as well. It's Bargrays. Bargrays.
Bargrays. That sounds a lot more realistic. Bagrez sounded I don't know, like
fish?
you were reviving a bag. I don't know. It didn't seem right. I don't know. Bargrays. Thank you very much, whoever has pointed that out to us. Now, I do want to say here, Bigfoot, that this is a pretty significant lead now for Bristol, coming towards the potential end of map 1 with a full buy as well, playing into potentially the third last round of the game if it goes to plan for Bristol here. We need to see something from Korean Pop soon to re-establish themselves in this game, because so far this is risky, and that's not the play. Slicing gets a pick, first pick for the round. It's all on this op now to defend A, and the smokes are perfect. It is impossible.
Yeah, so hard to hold up a not once. Oh, and there goes the showstopper from the long range. And it will take down Zion, who had that op on the corner of sight, locked up behind those smokes. Sim does take down Nuka, but it's on Zen to keep on trading. It's going to have to be a 5 HP clutch ace for this round to go over to Korean Pop Stars. Does look like Bristol Bargrays are going to be pretty comfortable here as they move forward to 11 points. 11
points, yeah, very, very close to that match point themselves. Of course, I believe this is Bristol Bargrays. It's their map choice, their map pick, of course, in the best of 3. So we are expecting them to pull off a win here. I would say, just based purely off the numbers. And it has been a pretty nice game from Korean Pop so far. Finding 7 is pretty good, I would say, on your opponent's map pick. So when we do head over to map 2, which I believe is Sunset, we might see Korean Pop put up a really strong game. This could indicate maybe going to that map 3, and I would like to see it. Again, Slicings has taken that top spot on the scoreboard, 14 for 9 right now. Bigfoot was lagging a bit behind, but has managed to catch up with Dash, 14 for 12 on the defending side right now, and there's no telling to what heights Slicing could go in this game, but I suspect it won't be a 30 bomb just yet.
Yeah, and it's pretty typical here with the economy on Korean Pop Stars. They do have the timeout to get a strategy piece together, but they don't really have a buy to piece together. And it does seem like maybe Dash is going to be buying that Vandal there. So one of them is going to be is Dash going to be playing a Vandal and no shield, or dropping that out for someone else?
It's certainly a bit ramshackle. They could buy small shields, but yeah, maybe Dash is just supremely confident. Info instantly given that there was an A push going as that camera is shot out, and really want to see Korean go for some similar plays to what we saw before, where they popped out towards that shower position. They've got to find some info early on, because at the moment they're going to be walking into a very hefty buy.
Slicings gets tickled with a grenade there from Zen. It's still not going to do too much damage. Same Wolfling hanging out around Hooker by themselves. Might be starting to get a little bit of info. Trying to look for some info at the very least to see if B can be a push, because Bristol have now rotated away from A site, all of them leading towards B. Long looks pretty clear as well, so
they're tiptoeing.
They're tiptoeing, and when they get the information they need, they're probably going to stampede onto B. We do have 3 players from K-pop.
Yeah, but the buy's not great. I mean, they've got a Sheriff here to try and hold off this long. That is not a great angle to have when it's Japanese dead end peeking you. Slicings gets so much space, but hasn't found any of the other players. They're going to start wondering, where is this B defense? A little bit of info there. There is one bazooka.
That's hilarious. I had no idea where those shots came from.
Oh, it's a big hole.
Oh dear. I mean, that was absolute carnage. I didn't expect K-pop to still be standing here. Spike will actually go down, but Wolfling's on very low health and will be taken down by Dash there. So an excellent comeback here for K-pop. Looking really comfortable. At one point, once the entry started from Bristol, it didn't look like it was going to go their way, but they managed to claw it back and stop Bristol Big was marching towards match point.
Yeah, Bristol, they still need 2 more rounds to close it out, and Korean have shown that they can provide a very strong resistance there, even with the low money that they did have there. We were talking about the defense having, Sheriff, Guardian, I think it was a couple of Stingers, and then that one Vandal on Dash. Comes out clutch as Dash does secure 2 very, very important kills there. Big Flash gets the info. And Bristol's been really good at this, using those sky flashes just to establish where Korean Pop might be playing. Obviously, it's a big investment. You only do get 2 the entire round. But still sometimes worth it. You don't really want to walk onto an AWP or a couple of rifles. Then I'm going to have a lot of info there as well. And what are Bristol going to do with this? Because they do have 2 players towards Showers, and they know that there were 3 towards A short. They could have maybe walked out there or tried to go for a sneaky play, but they're going to pause. They're going to play it slow. They got a minute to work with. They might as well use it.
Molly goes out in a hooker here. It's St. Wolfling versus the world. No support here, so if St. Wolfling's taken out, there is no one to trade. There was one point there was 3 players in lamps, but that started to spread out a little bit. I think they might have expected to be here. There was so many players in lamps, but now as the util pushes onto A site, I think they're aware that that's what's coming in. The nade goes out. Flash through the smoke. Trademark Flash won't be chased up by a push this time, but unfortunately Zion taken down by Japanese Denim. Control of the poison orb. Sim takes down Zen as well. Sim extremely low HP though. Can be taken out with 1 little bullet. If that cabbage was a dog, they might not be standing.
Yeah, but the numbers very much in favour of Bristol Bargrays here. Korean Pop. They sort of, I would almost suggest that they go for the save here. I think they'd rather go for 4 rounds in a row with goodbyes than try and force this, but they're going to try and go for it. Bristol Bargrays will take that 1 kill and will be very comfortable with this round. They will go to 12, and we'll be looking at match point very, very soon. Korean Pop, they've got to bring something out of their bag of tricks pretty quickly, otherwise we'll be on map 2 before we know it.
Sim will get taken down by the bomb there, denying Dash an orb, but won't be denying Dash a Vandal skin. Skipping back there to grab that, but yeah, match point now for Bristol Bargrays, so Korean Pop Stars, they don't have another timeout, I don't think, so they've got to use their time they took before, their strat book that they had a flick through. They need to work something out, because right now they need 4 rounds in a row to move forward and secure this map, so we'd be surprised to see Bristol Bargrays just come in with something with a little bit full of force, trying to close this out here and now.
The Cypher setup is going to be towards B, and there are 3 players over here, and this is where Bargrays seem to be leaning, very similar to what we saw at the end of the last half by Korean Pop Stars. And
Scout destroyed.
a little bit of info, Flash going in, and the Outlaw has, or the Marshal, sorry, has missed the shots. We've still got to get through these Cypher cages, and these jet knives could be deadly.
So much util getting sent to the backside there, but yeah, if something can come off the back of those jet knives, going to be pretty comfortable. And sidestepping there, Zion tries to get something, but will be sprayed down by slicings whilst Japanese Denim takes down Nuka Soul Wash. At least Wolves is here in hooker to trade someone out. Going to actually try and take down Coleman and will get the headshot. So Wolves working from hooker here with 2 players coming in from CT. Got a lot to answer for. Diamood there with the amazing molly on a Japanese Denim, turning this round into a 3v2. That molly might have secured it, but slicings will take down Diamood. Zen with the stinger, and Wolves going to jump our hooker and finish it off.
What a great retake from Korean Pop. I was thinking for sure there we're going to the next map with how quickly Bristol Bargrays were able to shut down that site defense. I mean, they had lovely tracking from slicings through the wall to find that jet, but then Korean Pop with a beautiful molly lineup by Diamond, as you pointed out, landing and shutting down that spike planter. Pivotal in allowing that retake, giving them the numbers advantage. Very nice stuff from Korean Pop, and hopefully that can continue. They need 3 more rounds in a row to keep the dream alive here on map 1. At the moment, it's overtime or a bit Bristol Bargrays win right now, and Korean Pop, they definitely want the former of those 2 options, and they are getting aggressive in showers. That flash is going to give a lot of information over to Bristol about where these players might be. But are they aware of how far Diamond... Yeah, they went for the exact same play again. This is beautiful. But Bristol has reacted. They have backed off, and they're going to fight this with 3. This is huge from Denim. Zen alone trying to fight now. And it's a 3-on-3.
Wow, such an early onslaught there in the lobby. And it will be 2 players down from each squad, as you pointed out. So as they pick the spike back up, they've got some pretty big decisions to make. But since they are so close to A, Wait there, they've lost. It was 3-on-3, and while I was talking, they've lost another player somewhere. That would be over in Hooker. So Korean Popstar looking pretty comfortable to take this to 10 points. It's huge advantage in this round, but if Coleman or Sim just get one kill here, maybe onto Zen, then things will start switching around. But Spike is going down. Information has been passed around. Maybe waiting for Dash to get here before making too much of a push, but there is still two solid players here if they do want to push off from this point.
Position is a tough one to play in for Sky. Could get spammed at any moment by Nuka, but not clearing it just yet. They're going to decide to go into lamps together. And Coleman's found one, looking for the second finds. That's huge for Bristol Braggers. They've been able to close. They've closed out the map in less than 2 seconds. All 3 kills come raining in from Bristol Bargrays and Korean Popstars. It's a rough one for them. I think they almost had the comeback on hand, but just a little bit of an unlucky nature in that lamp swing. That execution on that retake was not quite perfect. And we do see Bristol Bargrays take that one.
Very, very close there. K-pop could have secured it. You know, they could have had just a little bit more action from the duelist. Maybe they might have been able to come out on top. But when they're on that attacking side. But I mean, it was Wolves Dash, a Cypher player, who was top fragging on the attacking side. You don't often get to see that. So maybe,
No.
And we've been told that this team switch it up a lot. Maybe Dash is actually more of a duelist in other comps. We'll have to see what happens on this next map. But yeah, phenomenal stuff there. Closed out at the end there by Coleman in lamps. Really, really crucial stuff. The next map was Sunset, wasn't it? So we're moving on to Sunset next. Now this is another Bristol powerful map for Bristol. Yeah, I saw them 13-4 Exeter. Exeter themselves, very, very good team, have won this tournament before in the past couple of years. So to see Bristol do so good against them on Sunset does make me a little bit scared for what K-pop have to do in this next round.
Hopefully it's K-pop's favourite map, as of course this is their map pick when we do get to it. But I think we'll be heading to a short break before we're back with map 2 in just a few moments.
Well, no, they're not. Super with the first and only fans rooting on this round of the
Everyone, if you hate Snake, then this Snake will end it here for double kill versus Irie on the back of this fight. Cancel's fast forward,
Welcome back, everybody. We're one map down in the series. This is University Esports Valorant Spring 2024, and Bristol Beglers have taken the first map.
They certainly has. As that top seed, they have secured themselves the 1-0 lead in the series. But I have to say, really good fight by the Korean pop superstars. They did not let us down at all. They put up a really strong fight. They had a couple of nice retakes. I think the second last round as well was very, very low buy for them. They still managed to come on out and beat the Bristol Bagres, who had a full buy at the time. So really promising stuff from them. Obviously, it's Bristol's map pick, so it's expected to go their way. But here, when we hop on over to Sunset, I've got high hopes for the Sheffield, for the Staffordshire side, sorry. Hopefully they can pull off a win here, take us to map 3, which will of course be Icebox if we need it. But Bristol, I'm sure, will be hoping to close this out 2-0 and secure themselves at, I think it's the £200 minimum prize. Of course, because if they win this, they go to the upper bracket finals, and at worst, they could come third after that. So it'd be really nice for them to secure that prize position.
Yeah, pretty comfortable position to be in, but of course K-pop superstars will be looking to upset that moving forward. I know this is also another very good map for Bristol. I've seen them 13-4 Exeter on this, Exeter being a team that have won this entire tournament before historically, so Bristol looking so fresh this year. Yeah, it was interesting to see Slicings, one of our top players, out-fragged by Dash on the Cypher. So moving forward to Sunset, I won't be surprised to see Dash and Coleman also stick on that Cypher. I think we might see Zen and Slicing stick on that Raze. It is potential. I mean, Raze is a really there's a good player, good agent for this map. You can just get straight onto site. And of course, probably see Gecko come out. So maybe see Sky switched up for the Gecko, that wingman plant being very useful on this site, on this map as well.
Yeah, certainly, and I'm very interested to see how they do change up those controllers. We did see double controller, of course, last game, one of the sides, and single controller for the other. And that Viper, it was relatively effective. I'd like to say, they both had the brimstones, but I think the Viper was quite strong in places. That Viper pit towards long gives me sort of flashbacks there. You're one player defending all of B on bind against 5 players walking up that long position. It's a tough position to be in, and even getting one there is fair enough. But we are heading on in to map 2, Sunset. We are here. As we take a look at some of the lock-ins, you're very correct, Bigfoot. We do see that Sky swapped out for that Gecko as expected. We see both of the Razes being picked up by those players again. Zion still on the Jet, Dash on the Cypher, and it's the Omen coming out for Diamond. He was, of course, on the Brim last game. He's going to be on the Omen, and Woofling, the other Brimstone, going to be on the Omen. I love this Fade coming out from Sim, so no Gecko so far for Bristol. Looks like they're going to be going with the Breach and the Fade for their util.
Interesting, yeah. No, I mean, I think Geckos became a solid staple of Sunset, but it's doesn't have to be used. Breach, of course, is really, really good on this map as well. There's a lot of places where his util can be lined up in a way that other agents' util can't. Through certain walls onto that A site lobby. There's that big line when you're stood on A site. You can actually stun all of that lobby corridor. It's yeah, some pretty good nifty things you can do, but of course you're so close to B site that the Gecko plant can be so useful. If you can just clear out market angle, you can guarantee your plant there with the wingman. So
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting competition between these two comps, and we'll see how Gecko versus no Gecko does line up. But of course it's actually Bristol on the attacking side first, so they're going to be trying to get an early lead and dominate here, getting onto this site quickly, but looks like it's going to be a mid push to start with, so this can always go very interesting.
I'm a really, really big fan of Sunset. I've only played a little bit of it and cast even less, but of what I've seen, I've really enjoyed this map, this approach in mid and the flank around available that is over towards A. But straight away, we see Korean Pop with the opening pick of the map. That's onto Slicings. Now, we were talking about Zen having a little bit of a quiet game back on Bind, but again, not their comfortable map, not their map pick. So we're hoping here we can see this duelist go absolutely ham, as they've already knocked down their opposite number in the form of Slicings, and I'm sure there's much more to come.
Sim making their way on the site. Does actually get spied by the camera here. Dash knows where they're coming from. But Leah doesn't get any info apart from getting shot down, so they know one player is on site. Daimu is going to back up behind the box. Playing together here as well. Korean Pop Stars making sure they're stood in a similar spot to each other so they can trade out if needed. Woofling takes down Nuka Soul Wash though, so that is going to be one player down for Korean Pop Stars. Of course, Zen is on very, very low health. Zen will just take one bullet to be taken out as well. Oof, and Woofling with a kill on the Zion there, long range, down at 25 HP. Bristol do not have time to rotate now, so it's here or nothing, and the spike is down. Japanese Denim going to send a stun out, but I think going to be seen from too many angles as that cage goes down and will be taken down by Dash.
Two of those players for Green Pop very, very low, 5, 6 HP on those players, but yeah, Bristol not able to clean out. They managed to dink the two of them, but not able to clean up the kills afterwards, and that's unfortunately resulted in a bit of a rough pistol round for them. Korean Pop, though, taking the first pistol on their map hit. That's got to be a bit of a confidence booster here, as they do look to hopefully fight back here in map number 2. Take us to Icebox, and then potentially they'll be able to make their way further on in the upper bracket. But again, they're on the back foot for now. Long way to go.
The camera sees the camera. And,
always a funny one.
You got
Cypher.
Yeah, your two Cyphers looking at each other, but not from their point of view, from their camera's point of view. Zion elsewhere on the map is going to take down St. Woofling. Sim will get 2 kills with a Sheriff, though. So, that might even be an Outlaw picked up somewhere along the line as well. But yeah, these 2 kills from Sim are going to be absolutely crucial as they move their way onto site. They're going to get the spike down even, so in this eco round, they're off to a good start, but can they keep it going as 3 players from K-Pop try and do the retake, make that easy kill there for Diamui, but not so easy actually as Diamui gets taken down to half health, but Sim holding the angle with the Sheriff. Slicings with a Spectre in hand will be taken down by Nuka Soul Wash, and Zion with the Outlaw. Coleman trades out with the Ghost. Coleman, last player standing for Bristol here, will be sprayed down by Nuka Soul Wash, and K-Pop going to get their second round on the board.
Yeah, I really like the little bit of tech there from Slicings. Did you see? He threw the blast pack behind the player that was pushing him. If the player decides to turn around and shoot the blast pack, they're going to get swung and probably die. If they decide to push, then Slicings can detonate that blast pack at any point, force them either into the wall or slightly in a position, just disrupt their aim for a split second, and that may have been enough to give Slicings that little bit of an edge with that Spectre or Stinger that they had in hand to try and get that kill. Unfortunately, didn't work out this time, but it's those kind of small micro things that you can do with those blast packs. They're really, really powerful on this raise. Now, Korean 2-0 up. Got to be very happy with this result so far. They do have a little bit of a bonus here, of course, and nothing really being lent towards A by Korean Pop, and there's a lot of investment. So by Bristol Backrest, there's a lot of investment by Korean Pop towards defending this site, and they're not seeing anything. Oh no, if we do see this walk in from the Rays, there's a few too many players here for Zen to shut down, methinks, as Slicings takes his head straight away.
Yeah, really good peek there from Slices, but Zion will actually get a kill with the Outlaw there on a Sim. Sitting comfortably on full health as well, might be able to pick up a better weapon. Coleman though with a headshot, Diamood dancing around the smoke. Coleman will come out on top, but then Nuka hits Slicings with a Sheriff headshot.
Oh, that's huge!
No way! Oh, and Zion still getting kills with the Outlaw here. Japanese Denim on the back of side, going to flash their way out from behind the box and pick up the spike. Do see Zen there. Zion, sorry, with another Outlaw and a dash. Japanese Denim holding down the angle. It's Outlaw versus Vandal, and it'll be Outlaw on top. Wow.
Yeah, Zion really showing up here with the Outlaw, finding 3 picks there against a full buy from Bristol Bargrays, who really didn't feel like they got much of an inch in that round at all, which, considering how well they performed on their attack back on Bind, a little bit of surprise here. But again, yeah, Korean Pop, you've actually already got the knives up on the Jet as well. That's going to be very happy with that. Dash, a nice little setup in as well towards B, and Zion getting a little bit aggressive there. Is that the op in hand now?
Oof. Yep, Zion's upgraded to an out from the Outlaw. We do actually have Dash with a pretty sneaky little setup on B site as well. There's a one-way to catch this flood off. There is also a tripwire. Let's see what happens with these one-ways. This could be absolutely crucial. But smoke's there. And a lot of util going to push Dash back. Doesn't actually get to make the most of those one-ways. Does get one spray down before being traded out, but Diamood's there alongside Zion. Is going to be absolutely no problem for the K-pop Superstars to get their 4th round on the board. This is exactly how they wanted to start this map out, and so far, so good.
I mean, you were mentioning that the Bristol had a really good game on Sunset the other day versus Exeter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So far, we've not seen anything that indicates that could be the case again here, because 4-0 down, they're looking a little bit like they're struggling. Even on these rounds where they're sort of half buying or have the rifles, they're not making much of a dent in the Korean Pop Superstars' deeds. That could all change, of course, later on, but so far, they're being shut down quickly and efficiently, and because of that, Korean Pop Superstars are able to build up a little bit of an economy lead. Oh, I really like this from Zion, using that smoke just to see their feet, and because the op is a one-shot kill, you really can't lose a duel like this, right?
No, and Zion's taking so much space here. No one's going to expect an op to be right here. You know, you might expect the op to be in mid, but it's going to be there, and it's going to take down Sim. Just when Bristol thought they might have had some sort of advantage and some sort of surprise on the A site, they did not expect Zion to be so far forward there with the op. Losing one player moving forward is going to be tricky to come off the back. Losing 2 players now as Coleman's taken down on the flank by Dash. And yeah, now with 3 players standing, trying to get the spike down against a full stack of the K-pop Superstars, it's just going to get trickier and trickier as this clock mode goes down.
Bit of a slow mid round here, but Diamoid and Slicing's just to walk into each other there, and as seems to be the case so often, Slicing comes on top in these 1v1s. But still got a ways to go before Bristol can secure their first round in this half. They're at a man disadvantage, and Wuffling isn't finding the kills like that, and Zen's just picking off Slicings for free. Bristol look a little lost here.
Yeah, they really do. They do not look like the team I saw demolish Exeter just a week or 2 ago. Might be going to Icebox at this rate, mate, unless they can really switch it up.
10 and 1,
10-1.
10 and 1. Now that's a performance already. 5 rounds in, getting 2 kills a round since the beginning. Really, really strong start. And I'm trying to think of what I want Bristol to do here to try and find a round. That they've got a few ults on hand, but they just don't have the economy right now to buy. They're getting the Sheriffs and the Stingers out, but it does look as though it's going to be 6 in a row for Korean Pop, and that is hard to come back from.
Hard, but yeah, definitely not impossible. This is a save round. They can throw this last round and pull their act together a little bit, open up that strat book, find some of the attacking strategies that worked for them in the past. When they demolished Exeter, they were on the defensive side to start with. That might have been something that played into their favour. Maybe defending Sunset is really where it's at for them. But unfortunately, if you're going to start off attacking, you do need to get more rounds on the board before you switch sides. Going to be some excellent shot finally from Sim after a couple of misses. But Zion's on Marketplace, going to easily trade out. And, whoa, swamped by util, but that won't stop him knocking Wuffling out. Japanese Denim with a Stinger does trade, and Zion will drop as well. Stinger Fist. Oh, but there's Diamood to trade out again, and now it is just 1 player standing for Bristol Bagels, and it's all going to be on Coleman here. Sheriff in hand, coming out from the back of sight. This could be very interesting. Nuka so washed there with the spray. Coleman's going to want it, yeah. this is such an awkward situation and such an awkward position to be in. And using the neural theft might help a little
Burns
bit.
the ult. It's
Does
a big
help.
investment, but it might be something that does deliver them around. Oh, that's a
One.
not a great blind there, and I think very aware of where this last player must be now. May have either heard a sound cue or just knows from the time that they've got to be here. Oh no,
could
Coleman
have
doesn't stick
planted.
the plant, and I think that's the round over. Do they even have time
Yeah.
to get the plant down? They do not. And Bristol Bargraves, Bargraves got so close to a round there, so close to finding their first on the board, but it is not to be. Korean Pop pull ahead.
Jeez.
6
Nuka with the
to
footsteps
nothing.
all you need is just stomp on the floor and you can delay the plant. Coleman was 200 milliseconds away from getting that spike down and being in an advantageous 1v1 situation. But unfortunately, those footsteps spooked the plant. And Coleman lifted up and then left it a little bit too long to try again.
This is aggressive. Zion's not
Oh,
looking.
no.
Misses the shot. The nade's going to land on top, but should be able to get away. Does. Still has that dash, of course, in their back pocket. And Bristol, they were really looking last time like they started to make their edge here on Sunset. But suddenly we see Zion again shut down the player at the start of the... Any player for Bristol gets shut down at the start of the round by Zion. And I feel like Bristol is just playing a 4v5 this whole game because Zion is able to get a free pick every single round from some new position that they've not seen him in before.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see Zion, do a lot of leverage this game as a duelist. We did see them quite low down the kill feed last time, and had they been like a fully switched on duelist for the last round, maybe Korean Popstars could have came out on top, but it's just so nice that they've switched on for this round. Having that op in hand for so many rounds in a row as well, it's just really played off for them. Just keep on getting those kills and being in really unexpected positions and Slicing's triple peaks the op going down on the third peak. And yeah, as we're talking about how effective that op is being, it just continues to affect this round.
Last player standing.
Zen finds the second last player for Bristol, and really this map is, I mean, it doesn't feel like it, but we're basically halfway to the end at this point. If Bristol don't find something soon, we're going to be on map 3 before you know it, and Korean Pop Superstars are really surprising us here. I mean, I know it's their map pick, but, this is the 4th seed team, Bristol's the 1st. They should be still able to contest these maps, and being a best of 3, Bristol will have banned a map straight off the bat. Korean Pop Superstars would have done the same. They'll have both left open, hopefully, maps that they're relatively comfortable. I know not everyone can have a big map pool, but you would hope that towards the playoffs, when you're top sort of 4, top 8, you'd be quite comfortable on at least all but one of the maps right here. And this is showing a weakness, it seems like, in Bristol's map arsenal. Something that, if they do go on to lose this map, no matter the result of the series, they may need to address this before finals. Other teams, they're going to be watching on. They're going to be looking back at this VOD. If they've got Bristol up in their next game, they're going to be working out, what can we do against these guys? How can we beat them? Because, this is a potential weakness.
Yeah, and they're trying to take a time out here and sort of address these weaknesses. Moving forward, their economy isn't perfect, but with 4 ultimates and a timeout, I'm expecting that this is the round where they're hoping to switch things back into their favor.
Yeah.
They will be obviously trying to get all 5 of the next rounds on the board to make it 7-5, but if they can't use these ultimates and this scrappy buy and the half shields they've got to pivot off, then it's going to be very difficult to get much going. The economy is so low.
Is that Korean Pop Superstars can pretty much buy for the rest of the half. So no matter what Bristol does here,
look at that,
they have to win rifle round after rifle round after full buy round after full buy round, and that's going to be a challenge. Not to mention the fact that Zion is like 14 for 3 or something. It's just, how do you deal with this operator? It's unbelievably powerful right now. Or certainly the player playing with it is having huge impact.
Yeah, so after a little tentative spy in the mid, they've been scared off, taking a little bit of damage. Slicing's on half health as they make their way through the corridor onto A. The A flood is looking good so far, but Slicing's is actually taken down by Nuka So Washed as the spike goes down. Thrashes is coming out, it will catch one. Zen has been taken down though. Mosh pit to the back of site could be really, really good. Dash getting one. Zion with the Blade Storm going to get one as well. Will be stunned on the way in a corridor, but pushing out the Japanese Denim. Dash gets taken down there. The Blades are out. Now the Shorty's out, and it'll be enough for Zion picking up that Shorty. Nuka Soul Wash going to finish up, and they might have had the entry strat, but they did not have the hold strat once the spike went down, and K-pop Superstar is going to stop them getting any points on the board in the 8th round.
I mean, K-pop Superstars, they look super comfortable here. They are clearly in their element, and certainly Zion is. 16-2. That is double the kills of the next player in the game, and we're only 8 rounds in. 16 kills. Talking about players that are likely to drop 30 here, Bigfoot, Zion is on track to at least get 25 for the end of the game, and if Bristol start to pull back a little bit, Zion could be on for even more. Has this operator in hand, and has the capability to buy 2 more over the following 2 rounds, even if they die here, let alone the fact their team could drop them. Unbelievable levels of wealth here for the K-pop side. And Bristol, I don't really know what they can do here, because they have at least found an opener, but they still need to secure the round, and that's going to be a challenge.
I mean, Slicings was swamped with so much util there, but it's going to be a double kill from Zen. Zen says, I'll take your showstopper 1k and raise you a showstopper 2k down in lobby where the rest of your team are caught lacking. St. Wolflin's going to send Dizzy out, and yeah, whilst, oh my days, they're trying to shoot the util from the sky. They get double peaked and shot down. Bristol Bakers only have 1 player standing now, and it's Coleman yet again. Left with so much to do, and I don't know if it's going to be possible here.
They're lining up as well. One of them's holding it, and the second one crouched deep below. This is a very, very difficult fight to win, and Nuka just going to tap the head.
Nothing to be done.
0. Bigfoot, this is pretty unprecedented, I got to say. It's not often you see the lower seeded team in an upper bracket semi-final go on a 9-0 win streak.
Bro, if I told you the bottom fragging duelist from the last match was going to be on 17 kills 9 rounds in, and the duelist I was chatting about getting 30 Ks and 2 aces in 2 games was sitting on 4 kills, you wouldn't believe me, mate. But
absolutely not.
Things have taken a bit of a switch up here, and it's what we like to see. We love to see narratives maneuver around, you know, not just be so linear as this is the better team, this is the higher seeded team, this is the dominant duelist, and it's all going to stick to that script. This script has been fumbled with and messed with as we move through tonight, and it's very, very interesting to see. It could still be either of these teams securing the series.
What is that?
As Dash takes down Sim with a headshot through the cage. And I think that was a spray and pray answered by the gods.
I mean, it was an incredible shot. And if K-pop have got that on their side, what can Bristol hope to achieve here? Like they're being killed through smokes with no info. And really, we've got to see at least 1 or 2 come out of this half. Otherwise, Bristol are kind of gambling that pistol round is going to go their way. Otherwise, they'll be on a very, very, very tough road heading into map 3. And Zen again playing this lovely sort of one-way angle. Of course, you get the information before they do about their feet coming underneath the smoke, but does get re-smoked.
30 seconds left.
Are Bristol aware about this potential flank? They've got 3 players towards B. It's just the Gecko here. Needs to start worrying about it. Is going to probably get the info soon as they start to hear the steps.
Yeah, they're aware. I mean, Zen and Nuke have been anchoring down this site solidly. They've just been waiting for this push to come in. Gonna get 1 there, make it 2. Zen and Nuke get 1 each. Coleman manages to get a headshot with a Sheriff, but it's not going to be enough when the rest of your team's been dropped. And Nuke is going to re-peek you with a Vandal there, and 10-0 to K-pop Superstars now.
So late on coming up that lane push there that Zen was just able to turn around, fight with Nuka, and play off the angles that they had between each other, play those crossfires, and shut down all those players running on in. St. Wolfling tried to teleport onto the top of the site to come at it from an unexpected angle, but it's just not possible at all. Nuka's still alive on the back of that site. All that util that was thrown out, the blind, we saw the smokes coming out towards the back of site. We saw the breach charge going through the walls. Absolutely none of it had an impact. Gecko was able to reposition and still find kills. And double digits for Korean Pop. Bristol, Bargraves, not even one.
Huge push on the B site here.
A miss from Zion though could put Bristol in a favourable position here, as they have got a little bit of control over this B site.
The main thing that's going to change is Zion was 1 kill away from having the entire kill count of all of Bristol Bakers put together, so that's put that mission halting in its tracks there. Yeah, Zion was on 17 kills and Bristol Bakers were on 18 altogether coming into this map, so at least they've stopped that happening. But the spike will go down. This might be their first chance. Having 5 players just storm on a B site like that was a good way to get the spike down, but again, it's all in the retake, and as Frashy comes out, Frashy doesn't come out fast enough. His dash is
He's going everywhere.
With the headshots, taking down Japanese Denim, and it's
They have
Sim.
got the ult on Cypher, but they've got to find out what they're both so
Sim
low.
can do this. It's just going to be a tickle on either player now. We're missing the shots. Won't. Oh my days! Can actually get both in one spray. Spike diffuser just killed. Just don't take any more hits, Sim, and that'll be it. Finally, Bristol Bakers get 1 on the board, but the most they can hope for in this half is 10-2.
I mean, they get 1 on the board from an absolutely beautiful play from Sim there. Indeed, 3 kills in the round, 1v2 at the end there, but still very, very close, down to about 12 HP. It was almost a lost round, and as you say, the best of it for us 2 here. Korean pop superstars. They could, of course, rebuy. Zion, of course, has got an operator out. 17-3, the score. Sorry, the KD for that player now, as they scope up in another different angle.
My camera is destroyed.
Well, they managed, Bristol managed to get 5 kills on the board, so it's going to stop Zion matching their team kill count for now. So, but Japanese Denim there with excellent util kill on a dash. Slicing's going to take down Zion. It looks like Bristol are back, but a little bit late to the party. It's like we said, the most they can secure in this half now is 10-2. So they may have pulled their act together. They may have pulled the strat out, the strat book that works, but a little bit too late to do so.
I think especially winning that last round has probably given them a little bit of confidence going into the rest of this, and that's working out well from there as the trades go very heavily in their favour. Just 1 player left alive, that is Nuka, of course, as Bristol Bargraves secure 2 after 10 in a row from Korean pop superstars. And now we're going to have to see if this is more a side favoured thing, because of course we've seen Korean pop superstars on the defense. They've done very well for themselves, but now we're going to see them on the offense, and if they can put anything close to similar numbers up to what we saw on defense, this game is going to be over in very short order indeed.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how K-pop superstars approach this. You know, they could just try and steamroll their way to victory and just stomp down, march onto site. But if they start to play a little bit silly, then maybe it'll start to slip out of their grasp. And if it's possible for them to get 10 in a row, it's definitely possible for Bristol Bakers to get 10 in a row as well. See what happens moving forward. But Bristol I've seen them very comfortable on Sunset defense, but when I was watching this, they weren't starting 10-2 down.
Bit of a slow start to this pistol. Mid control taken by Korean pop superstars, but no damage really done so far. And Woofling trying to spot out info here. We'll hear the noise and start to back on north here. Very aware that this push could come through and overwhelm them. Slicings finds 1, and Bristol, they need to make this round go their way if they have a hope at closing out this game.
Yeah, with the A side mostly free, it looks like K-pop might be able to get the spike down. They've actually opted to push towards Japanese Denim there, who does manage to get 1, but will be traded out. It's only going to stall this plant for a few seconds. It's still going to go down. And I do see players coming in from Bristol from different angles, and this could work in their favor or without, depending who wins their duels. And as St. Woofling wins his, looking pretty comfortable now moving forward. There's 2 more players for K-pop to be taken out. Zion looking pretty comfortable on these peaks. Going to get an excellent headshot there on the Coleman as Nukem takes down St. Woofling and gets another one on the Sim. And there we have it. K-pop with the pistol round.
That is pretty bad news for Bristol. But again, obviously, Korean Pop Super is going to be elated at that. 11-2 the score. They have better economy than Bristol here. They should be able to force up. You know, of course, go for the second round, buy the SMGs and everything. They're even going to buy the Vandal because Dash, I believe, bought that Vandal because they are expecting a force to come out from Bristol here. You know, it's very rare that you eco when you're 11-2 down. But they should be able to secure this, and then all that leaves is that final round where Bristol going to be on yet another force. So really smart decision making from the Superstars, and they're getting ready to pop out onto B, and it's going to be a quick one.
Yeah, it's going to be a big push here. Blastbacks gets you onto site, gets you to the back of site, and as you try and take down a player, you will be traded. Bristol now with only 3 standing as they trade 2 of their players out for one of the K-pop Superstars. Nuka So Wash still standing, of course, taken down to extremely low health, but going to maintain that health to maintain that util. Can still flash from behind walls, etc. without dying. So much space has been taken by K-pop here. They're going to tap the spike.
A little bit dicey as they can't land the kills, but there you go. The last player for Bristol falls, and 12-2 scoreline looks a bit dire as we should see map 2 end this round, as Bristol will have to force again, and with that kind of money they've got half shields, Judge, couple of Stingers, couple of Spectres. Looks like Korean going to save most of their cash. Do buy up a second Vandal. They are expecting the force here. But what a turnaround, Bigfoot, from what we saw in map 1. Map 1 was pretty Bristol favoured affair, but with good signs from Korean Pop Superstars, who had a really nice, I think 6 or 7 rounds in that game, and had a chance at getting towards 9 or 10 towards the end with some of their retakes. But here, complete opposite story. Korean Pop Superstars doing insane work and really nice swing, but does not matter. Korean Pop Superstars will come out on top in almost any situation here on Sunset.
Yeah, it's just looking, they're just looking so superior in any situation that comes across. I mean, Wooflin there does manage to get a really good spray down on Nuka So Washed. As Diamuid teleports away from that, but Korean Pop Stars also do have Zion on low health. So overall right now, Bristol Bagel is looking a little bit stronger in this half. Zion taken down very low. Coleman going to easily get this kill there with the Stinger. But now taking a very interesting route through spawn to the A site. We actually see the defenders on the attacking side and the attackers on the defending side.
Bit of a flipperoonie here, definitely. Spike is, I think, trying to head towards A. Just turns around and takes out Woofling before heading towards A. It's not often you see a Spike sort of give themselves a chance to the enemy and go for the 1v1, but it works. Denim not ready for that angle, for that Cypher to be so close. Dash, with that Vandal in hand, has proved vital.
What an interesting round, and what it might be the round that closes up now, as we do have Slicings pushing on the site. Spectre in hand. Zen is up there on the high ground. Will make that easy peek. Double kill for Zen, and there we have it. K-pop Superstars taking Sunset away from Bristol without a chance of them getting anything else on the board above, was it 2 rounds?
Two rounds only. What an incredible performance from the K-pop Superstars. I was worried going into map 2 when you talked about the fact that Bristol had a strong performance on Sunset before. We'd just seen them have a really good game there on Bind. I was worried it's going to be a 2-0 series. But that is not the case, Bigfoot. We are going to be going to map 3. That will be Icebox after an incredible turnaround there. Map 2, 13-2 in favour of Korean Pop Superstars. That's unlike any series I've seen before in University Esports. I've got to say that is quite the one-sided affair there on Sunset. But again, map 3 is the decider, right, Bigfoot? So really no telling who's going to come out on top there, as neither of these teams have picked it first. It's the compromise map between these two teams, and it could be anyone's game still, right?
Yeah, I mean, if Zion stays switched on like that, Icebox is a pretty good jet map, so if Zion can keep the momentum up, might lean towards K-pop a little bit. Wouldn't know what to expect from Bristol agent-wise coming into Icebox. We could see a very, very different setup. Some people don't really favor Raze on Icebox, for example, so Slicings might have to move over. To see what comes out, though. It's very, very different map to the two maps we've seen. Of course, has had some crazy updates recently, making some like Omen plays and Jet plays a little bit more tricky. Slightly less cheek to be had on the entrance to that B site, but, and also some crazy changes to the mid. So, are all these players even used to the new Icebox is another question, because I'm still not used to it myself, mate. It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll have to see when we do get round to map 3. I'm excited to see how these two teams do on it, but I believe before we do go to map 3, we will again have a small break before we're back with Icebox in just a few moments.
No, they're not. Super with the threat and only fans rooting on this round of the
Everyone, if you hate snakes, then this snake will end it here for double kill versus Kyrie on the back of this fight. Cancel fast forward.
Welcome back, everybody, to the University Esports Open VALORANT. We are, of course, in the middle of or towards the end of a best of 3 between Bristol and Staffordshire University. We have just seen 2 maps from them Bigfoot. I'll talk about the first one. It was a Bristol win, pretty convincing, sort of 13-7, 13-8 scoreline, with a couple of nice retakes from Staffordshire, but overall, a Bristol victory. We then headed over to Sunset. And what the hell did we just see?
I don't know. Zion switched on and some sort of switch somewhere, maybe called in the big brother to get on the mouse and keyboard. I don't know, but Zion switched on and things switched up a lot. We saw a 13-2 from K-pop superstars. Bristol just looking like they couldn't find a footing anywhere, no matter what they did. And once they managed to find a footing to get the spike down, they couldn't even really hold sight the few times they did. And yeah, everything just fell apart for them. So hopefully their mental isn't too damaged as we move into Icebox, because this is quite an important match coming up now. If you win this, you do actually secure part of the cash prize. You've got at least third place, so that's going to be £40 for every player. Cold hard cash as well, you know, you can spend it on whatever you want. So it's quite a big deal to win this game, and then also getting knocked out means you have no chance of making it towards the finals anymore. Sorry, there will be a losers
There's
bracket.
a losers bracket. Yeah. They cannot
bracket.
get knocked out off of the result of this map. But of course, when they do play that best of 3 later in the week, or whenever that those lower bracket games will be, you know, there's every chance that some of the teams that are currently in the lower bracket may be able to beat the loser of this series. So still a lot on the line, and of course securing top 3 would be a relief, I'm sure, for a lot of these players who've been grinding out the season. They don't want to slog it through that lower bracket run. I've done it before. It is not fun. The amount of games you've got to play, and you've got to be at the top of your game for all of them, because if you make a single mistake in one of those series and you end up dropping out, that's it. There's no catch below the lower bracket. So yeah, lot on the line here as we go into map 3, which will be Icebox. I don't know what to think of this, to be honest. It is obviously new Icebox, so maybe these teams haven't had like a chance to prepare yet to see what they want to do on this map. Maybe they're not as familiar as they may have been with the old format, but we should be able to get into Agent Select and discover the mysteries of what they're going to be picking in just a second. But Bigfoot, if you want to say anything about Icebox indeed yourself, like, are you expecting either of these teams to go out on top here? If Zion stays alive, it looks like it could be a Korean pop superstars win, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see Slicing's moving over to the Jet. Zion staying on the Jet, but yeah, and Zen on the Rays. Nukasil washed, going to stick with the Gecko. Diamoid with the Viper. So, I mean, my main question I was asking is what Slicing's going to do. So seeing Slicing's locking that Jet straight away does show me a little bit of confidence. It's sort of the confidence we want to see. Dash there on the Killjoy, moving away from Cypher, but we haven't seen what Sim's on just yet. No
One thing I will point out, Woofling on the Killjoy as well, moved away from the Brimstone, the Omen that they were playing the last couple of games. They are going to be on that. Yeah, that Sentinel instead. And double Sentinel coming out for Bristol Bargrays, and Initiator, Duelist, and Controller. Just the one Viper, of course, does make a lot of sense. Icebox always been a classic Viper map. You don't really need the double controller. Some teams do run it, but you can make do without. But yeah, interesting difference in the comps here. Both of them obviously having that Killjoy is so powerful. But 1-1 on the maps, 0-0 here on map 3, and pretty much everything you've seen before this no longer counts. This is just a straight up best of 1. Winner of this game goes to that upper bracket final.
Two very, very different comps here. You know, we've got Sova versus no Sova, double Duelist versus single Duelist, double Sentinel versus single Sentinel. Both controllers are Viper. I mean, that is a staple of Icebox. As you can see on this B site, you can cut off so much here from the spawn wall drop point. And then if you're defending, you can cover out most of mid, a bunch of A with the wall as well on the defensive side. But so far, we've got Zen making a very, very early push here. Zen trying to catch ahead, but will get spied out before they manage to do so. Zion, extremely early push as well. Going to get one shot there on the Slicings, but Denim's on the high ground to trade out. Zen going to actually back off from this fight slowly now, instead of re-engaging. Could have gone messy if Zen stuck around, but with the retreat. And you can still watch still on this high ground. They're actually going to spy. Sim not able to get the kill, though. Going to be tagged out by a recon bolt. Do a retreat.
Bit of a tight round so far, but 1-1 in kills apiece, and almost wanted to go for that B rotate, but once the Killjoy got spotted, nope, they're heading back towards A, and all the rotations have been pulled over towards that B site. Looks like Bristol Bargrays should be able to get a spike plant here. No,
Why
that's
you
not the case.
say
Look at that. Nuka's found 2. What is that? There was only one person on the site, and suddenly that entire offense has collapsed instantly. Was no one holding the swing for the spike planter?
Wow.
That is not a good sign for this map for Bristol. You cannot be throwing around like that away. Very important to win those pistols.
Yeah, now Zion, full shield with the Outlaw, can one-shot any of these Bristol players if they make a peek onto the wrong angle. Does actually look like Zion's going to be playing on B. So
Let's see how it goes. I mean, if Killjoy decides to walk out here, they are a goner.
oh my days.
Nice
But
try
yeah,
from Slicings, but a little bit too aggro when you don't know what the enemy are going to be doing just yet. Only got 1 shot left, of course, in the Outlaw. That's the one downside, really, of this thing. You can do a really good amount of damage, but if you've got 5 or even just 3 people pushing you with those pistols, bit of a long reload and only 2 shots in that chamber. You cannot afford to waste them.
yeah, it's a completely different dynamic to the gameplay, though, compared to other snipers. Getting those double shots, and Zen there going to get a kill on a sim. Absolutely crucial there. Now, with one player standing, it's going to be very easy for Nuka Soulwash to get the free K and clean up. I think is that 6 for Nuka in 2 rounds?
Yeah, Nuka has had an incredible start to this game so far. And
5.
they were doing very, very well back on Sunset as well, I do believe. Bit of a quiet game for them in the first one on Vine, but no, again, another player that was just... We didn't maybe mention them as much as we probably should have, but Zion was just outshining everyone in the server. So it's hard to pick out the other shining lights when there's a blazing sun standing in front of you going... What was the final scoreline? 21-4? Or I can't remember, but a disgusting number of kills for Zion at the end of that game. And Bristol now leaning very heavily towards A, and this B aggression coming out from Korean Pop is finding a lot of information as the rotation should come out, but Bristol's going to be on the site before the rotations can get here.
The drone only catches the turret off guard. It doesn't actually spy on these players that are hiding on the other side of the site, but I'm pretty sure that Bristol have got a good awareness of this map and where people are likely to be if the drone doesn't catch them. And as you see, they do manage to take one out with that information. Zen taking down Coleman, though, on this back line. So there's one player lost from each squad. St. Wuffling doing their best to watch the flank, but oh my days, Sim getting dashed through the box is going to be really useful in getting this spike down, but now Zion comes in with the Outlaw, and we've seen Zion do a lot with snipers before. Will the Outlaw be enough?
Lovely position from Denim there. Not an angle that Zion has ever expected to really clear with that gun. Rough position for this retake. 2v4. They've got a little bit of util, but it's not going to find anyone, and Korean Pop probably just going to take this one as an L.
What is that jump peak?
Hey, maybe it could have landed Bigfoot, you know? A bit of damage. Actually, damage is good, very good here. If they can find maybe one more kill,
Oh
just
my days.
get that economy on the back foot, it could be useful, but no, there's 3 players swinging them. What am I saying? Nuka's a goner.
Nice try, though. So Bristol trying to turn this into less of a one-sided map as they get one round on the board. It was good execution from them there. Showed some really, really good knowledge of this map when you saw them clear out the site with the drone. Didn't get any info on any exact location for players, but we're aware of where they might be and used that information, that guesswork, that map knowledge to get that first kill, which really did help them move forward. Zion now has managed to get the operator on board, though, on half health. Might be outsprayed, but going to be making an early push along this. Oh, this could be absolutely crucial. Look at this. Sim's about to go
Big
down.
kill.
There we go. Very, very big. No one
Spike
expects
as
the
well.
op to push forward that fast, and the spike is down, now watched by Zion's op. So there we have
Zion
Coleman
knows it's
grabbing
gone,
it.
of course, has been holding that since it was dropped, but Slicing is getting very aggressive with no teammates nearby to back them up, but it's a little bit of a desperation play there as Korean Pop Superstars. Yes, they had a bit of a blip in that last round losing there, but suddenly they're back on top of things, aren't they, Bigfoot? They're looking, well, with a 2-man advantage and make that 3 with Zion back on the AWP.
What is that shot from Coleman?
Coleman, bro. Check him PC. What is that? And maybe Bristol can make something of this round here. 2v4. Could go for the plant. There's no one actually on this site to deny it. Just the Killjoy utility. And The rotates coming on out. I think we've got to see Sova get involved here. Find something to help his team out. Zion is gone. That's the op out of their hands.
Spike could have gone down a little while ago as well, but playing tentatively, playing carefully, does actually keep it up for a
Is
little
ready
while
though.
longer.
Go on.
Here comes Thrash. Yeah, will be sprayed down though actually, but like I said, the spike could have been planted some seconds ago, and now with the plant not happening, it's going to be very, very difficult for Coleman to get away with this.
The time is ticking down, and Coleman just unable to find that kill as Korean Pop Superstars. They play the round out safely. They use their numbers and the time ticking away to their advantage to secure a third. And good discipline from them. They may have been tempted to run on in, but no. Strong performances from all of them across the board so far, but Nuka definitely standing out right now, 7-1. I think they also managed to recover the op for Zion, who's gonna... Oh no, they didn't. It hasn't been dropped in spawn. No, just gonna have to go with the Vandal. Bit unfortunate for them there. Big investment that did not really pay off.
Yeah, so although Korean Pop Superstars get up to 3 rounds, Bristol Bakers do manage to do a 5 grand dent in the economy at the very least. Alongside a little bit more, they did get a couple extra kills than that. As we move forward, though, we see Japanese Denim with the drones just spying one player out there. Zion has been hiding on the back of this site, ready to peek at the right time. Slicing's moving forward with just a stinger. It's not what you want as a duelist. You want something that can pack a bit more of a punch, but right now they are saving, doing their best, and they've farmed the orb. Maybe faking a rotate, or at least putting back for now. Coleman holding down mid. Doesn't have any information just as of yet, but does have good map control on this middle peak.
A lot of presence from Korean Pop Superstars over towards A, but they're playing it slow and they're giving Coleman a chance to start to aggress up mid here. And this new window is a little bit weird, as you see there.
Very weird.
Just walked quite, yeah, not quite ready for that angle. Of course, people are not necessarily expecting that to be.
Oh, my days! Coleman just walked straight past Zion and washed. Just had that window peek and didn't look out of it and missed them. It was so close. Oh my days, Zen just holding the anchor, and Wolfling's gonna go down as well, but Japanese Denim will get a kill. It's not gonna be enough though, as Zion finishes it up, and it's 4-1 to K-Pop.
Very strong start so far on their defensive side, but I suppose it is to be expected. It definitely feels like the new Icebox still favours that defender side, in my opinion, but we'll have to see if that's a trend that continues throughout this game when we do get to swap over in a few rounds' time. But unfortunately for Bristol, they're back on the half by 4 sheriffs. I think there was a marshal or an outlaw perhaps on one of their players, but that's all they're going to have. No, it was a guardian, sorry.
Guardian
That's
with no
not
shield,
a lot in terms of options to make something of this round. They've got to get pretty lucky with some headshots here.
Yeah, another one peeking. I mean, Zion here with the outlaw. Not an operator, but we've seen it might not need to be for Zion to get some effect. Slicing's very, very far onto Psych. Actually, just
what is this
missed
timing?
the first shot, but gonna get the second, and that's the problem when you got a sniper and got that tunnel vision. But Slicing's getting a crucial opening kill for Bristol Bakers moving forward. Managed to pick up that outlaw as well to switch things around a little bit. Dash here using some KJ util to try and hold this plant off, but according for the rest of the team to get here and help. The Sage Ward is down, but there's a tiny pixel gap in it, and it'll be an easy kill for Dash.
Such bad luck for the Bristol side as they are unable to plant the first time. They do manage to get it down now, and the player does manage to get out. 4v4 on the player counts, and though a flank is coming in, will we see them come out of kitchen fast enough to make an impact?
Wingman defuse attempted, but shut down straight away. Diamond going to take down Slicing. Sim, though, holding it down, takes down one. Coleman gets another. Zen does manage to take down Woofling. Dash is here looking good, but Sim's looking better. Now the showstopper comes out, and oh my days, Sim gets the shot with the Guardian. Zen might have got the kill, but as you see there, no players left on the map. So it will be Bristol taking that round.
Brilliant shots from Sim there. He was such low HP, facing down an ultimate. Did not quake at that opportunity. Knew the player was going to have to come round to land that ultimate and just managed to find them in the air. Beautiful stuff, you know, no matter how good your movement is. Apparently, Sim can track you. Really strong stuff as Bristol get themselves back into the game with another win. There's 4 players for Korean Pop Superstars pushing out A. This is a very aggressive strategy. The knives are out for Zion. Finds one. Could look for so much more. The Vandals found another. And Bigfoot, this round is suddenly already in Korean Pop Superstars' favour.
Yeah, Bristol Bakers really need to watch out for these early pushes moving forward. There's still half of this half left. And if they keep on getting caught off guard by those early pushes from K-Pop Superstars, things might start to fall apart for them fast again. Got to be holding down these pushes. See, excellent headshots there from Zion. Slicing's knocked out. And I do think this is going to be a pretty easy round for K-Pop moving forward off the back of that early push. Unless... No.
Zion, that's his done. That's his 4th. Looking for the 5th. Looking for the ace for Zion. That's incredible. 3 huge headshots at the end of that round to deliver Korean Pop Superstars their 5th. What was that? They had a terrible buy. 1 Vandal. The knives out for the Jet. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they need to... I mean, Bristol really need to be careful of these early pushes. There's a counter strat to this as well, you know. You can actually hold the angles as if you're the defenders. If you're the defending side and making such aggressive pushes, you can take advantage of it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see K-Pop just calm down now off the back of that. You know, there's no need to keep on pushing. I mean, they are, which is absolutely fine by me. But once you've achieved so much off the back of so many pushes, you can consider your opponents scared. And you can just leave them to waste their time waiting for you to push. But having said that, there is a very, very early push coming out here from Zen, and Coleman drops, and now the spawn control is in the hands of K-Pop Superstars. Diamond takes down Woofling in mid as well, and Bristol Bakers not looking comfortable in this round. Didn't have too many guns to talk of, so the best they can hope for now is to finish off 1 or 2 of the K-Pop players.
This might be a little bit of timing here, Sim. Oh, what is that shot straight through the wall? Goes for more, finds the 2nd. Are they aware that there is a 3rd player towards the back of the site? Not. Dash. Trigger discipline is beautiful there. As K-Pop still in the round. Bristol, oh my goodness, they've got some talent in there. Lovely shots.
Now, how fast do they clear this site out? Last couple rounds ago, we did have... I think it was Coleman pushed onto site, scared to plant without the information of where the players are. But the spike goes straight down this time. Could mean it's a little bit easier. But no. Then just going to phantom Japanese denim down. 1 headshot for Slicings. Can another one come out?
Only has 2.
Oh! What a jump peak. And the 3rd. Wow, Slicings answers back. It might not be an ace, but saying to Zion, you ain't the only Jet on this map. Wow.
Due to the Jets right now, that is insane. First round, we see Zion go crazy, deliver the ace. Round straight after, Slicings does a very similar thing. The 1v3 to pull off an insane clutch there. And pull Bristol Bag Rays straight screaming into their 3rd round. My goodness, already we've seen more from these teams this game. More epic moments, I think, in this game than the entire rest of the series.
Yeah, I would like to see a Slicing's ace before all is said and done, but that 3K clutch is definitely up there. Might not be an ace, but it's secured a very, very crucial round moving forward. Lockdown does get dropped by Bristol. It's going to... He left to cook for a second. 4 seconds left. So the exec's going to move forward. Spike is going to go down. Sim gets a wall up and the spike down. Dash, though, in mid. Taking down the mid anchor of Coleman. Ooh. Slicings. Very, very nice position there on screen. He's going to take down Dash, but will be traded out by Diamuid, who's made that push up the back ramp. We're going to enter site here alongside Zion and Zen.
Retake coming on in. The smokes are out, but very big ultimate. Of course, Hunter's Fury is huge. The fuse is coming on out, and I don't think there's anything that Wolfling can do from this position to try and deny it. Just a little bit too late to that spike, and will even get killed in that Viper's pit. 6-3. K-Pops are they're looking real good here on Icebox. It's not been as clean a slate as what we saw back on Sunset, but look at those rounds. They've only lost 3, and they've never lost more than 1 in a row to Bristol so far. Really good sign. And also, never mind the fact that Bristol's actually only managed to get the spike down and explode, and almost explode it once, and that's the defuse that came out last round. Really strong stuff, and that's mostly off the back of this Gecko player here, who's been doing incredibly well so far here on Icebox.
Yeah, and of course Bristol will be looking to get 3 in a row, but on this save round right now, to kick off that trio of wins is going to be a little bit difficult. Japanese Denim sending the drone out on B site. No one's on their side of the wall, so they can take some space here. But when that wall drops, there will be a contest.
Oh, this could be huge.
Beautiful
Slicing
from
finds
Slicings. Holding that flank down. What an excellent anchor here. And then the one-way. 2 kills for Slicings here. Diamond and Zen drop. And then a kill from Dash into mid, but will be traded out by Sim as the rotation. Looks like it's heading back towards A now. After all of Thrifty, the attackers do get it. Wow. And they pick up an operator for their troubles. Coleman getting that final kill there. Excellent Thrifty round here from Bristol Bakers.
They're going to be very happy with that, and certainly a surprise given how disciplined we've seen the K-pop side looking so far. They've really not lost any anti-ecos so far, I think, in this entire series. I can't really remember any. Bristol, still a couple of rounds behind, but suddenly the half is a lot more recoverable, right? 6-3 scoreline to 6-4, suddenly you start to think, well, we just get the next 2, or even just one of the next 2, and it's not insurmountable, as I like to say, as Wolfling has to be careful here, because although a Marshall's not a crazy good gun, it can one-shot headshot. Instantly, Dash has opened up onto that mid player already.
A little bit in silence here before Bristol Bakers make another move. Looks like Spike is still down on A.
Ooh, not
Sim
quite.
making a peek out with the Guardian. Not quite going to get it. But that might distract a couple of the K-pop stars over to the B site, just showing your face there. Of course, we've got Slicings making this push up to A site. Nuka is holding down Heaven, but there's been no util set off, not any sounds coming out. Will change in a second as Slicing makes this push yet. Recon Dart is spied, so Moshpit's going to be chucked any second now. It's like a bit of a lineup. And it will... Oh, it's going to get Denim a little bit. Yeah, take Denim a little bit, but Denim will get out just in time. Nice lineup there. It's not going to be enough.
That's a lot of information that Denim can give the team now because of spotting 3 or 4 players towards it. Rasha does not manage to get any deeper, and his defense Killjoy is pretty huge. They're already getting on towards that spike, and it's already halfway done. This could be terrible for the Bristol Bag side. It's already over.
Days.
The retake took about 6 seconds, and that was pretty much all just the defuse.
Wow. You don't have much option there, really. They would have had to have pushed instead of retreating and done a successful push. That was their only option.
It's just really clean from the K-pop side. They're so good at just almost. It almost looks like they're in a flow state or something. They're dropping this utility. They're passing straight into the site. Everyone knows what they're doing. I'm pretty sure it was Diamond Diamond, who got straight onto that spike, started defusing before the defense killjoy had even popped, knowing that these players have to be backed off. And then brilliant trades, brilliant angle holding from the rest of their team. And that's how you deliver a round.
Yeah, cleanest retake I've ever seen, I think, at this level. Of evenly matched teams, that is evenly matched high-level teams, that is the cleanest retake I've seen. It was just flawless. Just the lockdown has so much power. And that's, of course, when as someone like Japanese Denim, you want to have the Hunter's Fury in pocket to counter that. And this is where the macro really comes into play. Who can, like, outstrat the other team on the bigger things, you know? Like, when do you save your ultimates for? Do you make sure you've got a counter ultimate? And it's very important.
The man advantage held by Bristol at the moment here in this final round of the half. Of course, K-pop have to go for this. No point saving when there's no more rounds to play. Big kill by Gecko. And the kill's just raining in, Bigfoot. What is this?
Oh no, Zion on the defuse, nearly going to stick it, but Coleman gets them just before Zion gets to half. So much util backwards and forwards, but without taking down this pit, I don't think it's going to be possible.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, Japanese Denim takes down Diamood. Last player standing is Nuka so washed, but that will be Bristol Bagras. Taking it to 5. That's pretty comfortable, you know. It's a lot more comfortable than they finished off their first half last round, 10-2. So 7-5, easy to come back from, especially if you secure a pistol round. But so far, K-pop have actually had, well, K-pop have had the last 3 pistol rounds. That's as far back as my human memory goes without having stats in front of me. But I know they've won 3 in a row now. And if they get this one on the board, they're going to be looking pretty comfortable moving forward. So Bristol Bagras will be looking to get this from the defensive side and stop Korean Pop Stars starting off this round victorious.
Yeah, I mean, 7-5, not a bad score. The most competitive map I think we've seen so far, I think it was 8-4 in map 1 and 10-2 in the second one. Here, map 3, both teams fighting tooth and nail to secure their spot in that upper final.
Slicing's had a really early push there with the dash activated, was hoping to find something with the Sheriff, but it actually looks like K-pop are playing a little bit more calm. I mean, when they were defensive, they were pushing, and now they're attacking. They're just playing very slowly. Got Dash here trying to take some space. Very aware that players could have pushed out this far, so clearing these angles very carefully. Slicings here might get taken out unaware from the left angle, but probably going to get the first shot off. Actually seeing 4 players peek will actually just retreat, which is actually a fair call, to be honest, because now you need to play the numbers game if you're going to be outnumbered like that. The wall's about to drop in a second there. Oh, the spike's going to go down, and it's going to be stopped just in time there, but Diamond takes down Slicings. Crazy stuff here. Woofing does get 1. K-pop looking to pick the spike back up, rotating around the back. Zen gets Sim. Zion decks out Japanese Denim, but Woofing going to get another. But Nuka is there still. And now it's 1 player standing. Coleman has to do it all. It won't be enough.
Very important pistol for K-pop to secure there, as that puts them potentially up to 9-5, which is a bit of a lead, but not too bad for Bristol. Yeah, another time where Bristol had the right idea with their positions. They managed to deny the plant, and they were in good spots to try and deny K-pop from picking back up that spike. But I think it was Sim that just turned just at the wrong moment, and out comes Zen, swinging out with that classic, tapping them in the back. And what can you really do when you're getting timing that bad, round after round?
Yeah, I mean, some of the fixes for some of these situations, there are a lot more that could be handled just in one game. You know, this is like sometimes a couple of weeks or a couple of months of training to really solidify who's watching, whose angles and stuff.
Yeah.
We've seen there's been quite a few times where K-pop have just managed to take advantage of blind sights. They managed to get to a blind angle, a flank, and it's just worked out so well for them. But look, is this going to be an instant diffuse from Sim? No, it's not, because the wall will be destroyed, but still a little bit of extra cover when it comes to diffusing. Sim going to get some shots in mid there. Dash will go down, but Zen with the Guardian getting plenty of kills there. Woofling and Japanese Denim. Zen now just taking so much space. Talked about blind spots a second ago. Here we have another one. Is it going to be a nade to finish off?
Oh, lovely shot.
Slicings. No way. Zen with the 4K. Gee.
We said Zen was having a pretty chill map 1, but they have certainly stepped it up. Map 2 and map 3, I mean, of course, map 2 was great for everyone on the K-pop side, but map 3, look at them, 15 for 8. Nuka, 15 for 5. That's a 3 KD right now. Not even including the assist, that's a 4 KDA for that player right now. The scoreline feels like it should actually be further apart than it is with how dominant these top 2 players have been. Zion still having a good game, but obviously we've seen the heights to which this player can go, so it's nothing to shout about just yet. We'll start screaming when they get to 21 kills again. But certainly, Bristol starting to feel the pressure. The rounds are starting to count up, and their economy and potential to sort of come back in these rounds and find space, find momentum, is starting to fall by the wayside.
Yeah, and K-pop did so good to win their best and want to get themselves in this position. They're really trying not to waste the opportunity. And so far, so good, but only 4 rounds remaining for them to secure this victory. There is still time for Bristol Bakers to get something back themselves, but it does look like the util from K-pop as they move on to A site is pretty overwhelming. See a showstopper come out from Zen. Gonna take down Slicing's really important kill there. Japanese Denim falls as well. Sim manages to trade out, but will drop themselves by Nuka pushing onto the back of site there. And Bakers only have 2 players to do this against 4 people on the retake.
Zion throwing away their life there a little bit unnecessarily. Perhaps could have been playing for a trade. They might be aware of Diamond at the back. And look how close Nuka is as well. Are they going to expect these positions? Certainly not. And the wall actually helps Diamond live here perfectly. Putting that up just in time. 2v1. And it's just Coleman left on this retake. The time is ticking down. Not aware of how close above them that this player is. Down they go to that Gecko so expertly positioned from earlier on. And K-pop double the score of Bristol right now. And despite losing map 1, they've been resilient throughout all of map 2 and map 3, Bigfoot. And they're looking like they might take down the favourites in this tournament and put themselves in that upper final.
Well, yeah, Bristol were top of the Excel document, mate. I mean, there's only one other team with 33 points, and that was the Royal Holloway Bears, the Royal Bears. They were the only other team on 33 points. Everyone else in the top 8 was on 30. So, you know, out of these top 8 teams, it is pretty even standings. You know, you got 2 on 11 wins and 6 on 10. Oh my days, Nuka counteracting that early push with 2 kills there. Crash is out.
How do you deal with that? Like, both your B players have gone instantly to this Gecko that's just popping off. And now Dash so deep outside B. The retake has got to go. I mean, it's so difficult to find anything here. I don't think they're even going to start. They do start to clear Dash, but Dash just wins it. And it's all now down to that Sova with a Marshall in hand. That's not really what you want in a 1v3 retake. Has a bit of util, but I think this is all but done.
Yeah, there is. It's got to be a ninja defuse or nothing. Should have just stuck it, but here we have Thrash coming back out.
Oh, and he gets him!
He's
Comes
get
ring
shot.
around the roses, jumps around yellow. And Korean pop superstars, and that they certainly are, superstars. 11-5. Potentially just 2 more rounds in this game, and look at that, Nuka trying to challenge Zion's record so far in this series. 21-5 with 5 assists.
That's crazy, man. Only 2 rounds to go to close this up. Bristol haven't called a timeout this map. I think it might be time. Oh no, K-pop so aggressive, just waltzing forward, but fortunately Slicings and St. Woofling were ready for it and they shut down that push. Might be K-pop getting a little bit too excited here as they rush through mid. But still potential to get the spike down. It's actually what we have here is Diamond faking a whole heap of util on B. Might be that the other players rotate over to A, but so far they're still hanging around mid and B lobby.
Oh, quick kill for Dash does start to even up the players a little bit. Still a one-man deficit. But what's that from Diamond? Just finds a free. Finds two, and Korean pop superstars are back in the game already. It's already a 3v2 favoring them somehow out of nowhere. I do believe the bomb, the spike will not go down just because of that expert Killjoy utility that was deployed earlier on. Will kill the little man.
Such a crucial kill there from Sim. That's going to even the player base out. But there's Util just getting thrust into Bristol's face by K-pop. And now it's just one player standing, same Wolfling. And wow.
What can you do? Nuke is still alive. He's still alive and he's going. What even number of kills is he on?
Oh man, that is crazy.
Outrageous.
It's not fair, that man. The first time they get 2 kills on the board to start, and it just gets stolen away.
Double the highest player on Bristol right now. Double the highest. That is insane. And only 5 deaths. Probably only in the rounds. He's only died in the rounds that Bristol have won. Every other round, it looks like he's lived. That's an insane statistic. Usually, you take a fight once and you'd lose. But no, hasn't lost a single fight apart from in rounds where they just lose. It's only 5 of them. That's insane. Slicings goes aggressive to try and get something back for Bristol. And it's actually worked for them. Sim has gone similarly huge and suddenly found a 3k out of nowhere.
Go on, Sim. I mean, Diamond will trade out there, but it's going to be very, very difficult for Diamond to come out against the rest of Bristol. So, holding Korean Pop Superstars back one more round, but they need to get 6 in a row to take this to overtime. And I don't know if they can deal with the mind games of Diamond. I don't know if they can deal with the aim of Nuka So Washed. And
I think they need to change their name, because the last thing they are is Washed at the moment. I mean, that is... What a scoreline for them.
Yeah, it's just looking like there's almost nothing Bristol can do, but being one of the top seeded teams, we never know. There might be a switch they can switch back on. They got this far. We're very, very highly seeded. They can get further, but 6 in a row is asking a lot. Diamond there going to have to fall back. So it looks like B site's a no-no, but with A completely open, it might actually be an easy plant, and a 5v5 retake going to be very, very difficult for Bristol to do. And if they lose Sim here, it's going to be a 4v5 retake, so Sim needs to get out of the danger zone. Will get an excellent shot on a dash. What a flick, but now the Viper's Pit is down, and it's going to be such a difficult retake. I mean, Wingman gets taken down, but so does Sim.
Wolfling coming on around, but... Look at all these players in the afterplant positions, and now they're starting to push forwards, take this space. They're aware there could be a flank, and they just want to fight. They just want this game over with, Bigfoot. Just one player left alive. Coleman the Viper in a 1v4. Finds the first.
How much further can Coleman take this? Does Spy 1. Oh, Spies 2, but takes a big shot on the way, and then of course... There's the third, the player to the left. The minute Coleman moves forward, will be shot in the side from Nest. And there we have it. Zen taking down Coleman as K-pop superstars advance and knock Bristol down to the losers bracket.
They do. The first seed, the favourites of the tournament, the players who achieved 2nd place just last semester, have been knocked down early on. The first best of 3 of the bracket. And they have been sent down to the lowers. Let's take a look at those brackets and see where they've ended up. Yeah, unfortunately for them, they're going to have to play 1, 2, 3 best of 3s if they want to make their way to those grand finals. Whereas, of course, Korean Pop Superstars will be playing the Royal Bears in those upper bracket finals for a spot in the grand finals.
Well, Bears were mentioned a little bit earlier when I said they were the only other team with 33 points in the standings. So I guess if K-pop can do it once, they can do it again. They can claim that top spot moving forward. Just got one more round to go before the finals, and we will be seeing that next week, of course. So you can tune back in. I hope we can watch K-pop superstars moving forward, yeah, because that would be interesting to watch if they can continue this wave that they've started riding.
It certainly would be. And we'll, of course, be back in a few moments with an interview from the winning side. So we'll just go to a short break for a few moments where we have a chat with one of the players from Korean pop superstars. See you in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Bigfoot and I are joined by a very special guest, who neither of us can pronounce the name. So I'm going to ask you to first say your name, as my very first question is, how on earth do you say it?
It's Dermot.
Dermot.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you very
sense.
much.
Yeah.
If you watch back the VOD, we were calling you all sorts of things. Nothing rude, but we didn't know how to say it. But thank you very much for that. Congratulations, first of all, on that best of 3 win. You should be, I'm sure, very happy to upset the first seed there. I've got my first question for you.
Yep, send it.
What went wrong on Bind? Was that an expected loss? Did you know coming into that wasn't going to be the result? What happened?
We were pretty confident on buying, and then I think the pressure just got to us a little bit, and we were kind of, the comms were a little bit off, our ideas were a little bit mixed. So, and they played a really good bind, so I gotta give it something there. But I think we had a decent binds back.
You can see you got your Hunter x Hunter cap on.
Yep, right there.
How does it feel to be 2 episodes away from your Shonen series finale?
I don't watch Hunter x Hunter. I've watched it, but I don't actively keep up with it. I just thought how it was cool, and it is pretty cool. So,
well, Shonen's the zero to hero genre of anime. So how does it feel to be just 2 games away from being the hero of the UK?
Oh, I see, man. That went over my head. It was a really big struggle at the start of the season. To be honest, we lost like 2 games in the first 2 weeks, and we were probably like, honestly, we were ready to just like call it. But we just kind of had like a team meeting, and we're just like, guys, we're probably just better. Let's just play together, play the good fundamentals, and I think we could beat any team, and beat the first seed here. So on neither of our maps, we don't play either of those maps, by the way. Just let you know. So,
you're saying you don't play Sunset after
No.
an incredible
No.
13-2 or something like? I mean, how did you pull that off? I think probably got to give a lot of credit to Zion.
Yeah, definitely.
What happened?
So basically, he had a rough first game, we'd say, on Bind, and since we don't play a lot of Sunset, we were kind of just cooking the comp up right before the game. And he was like, I'll fail. I had a bad game. And we kind of just backed him. And we said, no, if we're going to win this, we need you to pop off. And, we got the op in his hands. And, is he a Jet 1 trick? Yes. But is he good at it? Yes. So, we backed our man and he helped us.
Icebox, right?
Exactly, yeah. He's insane. So, yeah, just believe in
us. Does sound like your story's been a bit of an anime, losing, team meeting, moving forward. I mean, you've got this next round, and then it's on to the finals, maybe.
Royal Bears, right? I think they.
Yeah, they are the only other team that had 33 points in the group stage. So
interesting. Yeah, we have a a close connection to one of the players on Royal Bears, so it'll be a fun rivalry, I think.
Good little
we're coming.
matchup of you.
Exactly.
In the upper bracket. Well, I mean, we wish you all the best
you.
in the rest of this tournament. Hopefully we'll get to cover your game next week in that upper bracket, and we hope you get all the way to those grand finals. Thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And again, congratulations on your win. Well, Bigfoot, that best of 3, what an experience, right? We had a good Bristol win on map 1. We had an absolute roll on map 2, followed by some incredible plays on map 3. I think there was the ace, there was the clutch right after it with the knives. There were some beautiful shots from pretty much everyone in that server. Really, really strong stuff. Have you got any final parting words before we say good night to the rest of to this tournament for today?
Oh, just GG's to all the players involved. Hopefully Bristol can claw their way through the losers bracket for some kind of rematch if K-pop keep moving forward. That would be an interesting rematch to see for the finals. But good luck to K-pop moving forward. They will be going up against the other top seed next week. So it'll be something to watch out for. And maybe that'll be what's on the stream. But keep tuned, keep posted. We will be posting on socials until then. And I hope you can join us next week for what is the semi-final.
It will be the upper bracket final, the semi-final, as you say. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Thank you for playing to those players, and thank you to Bigfoot for joining me on this cast. That has been the best of 3 for today, and University Esports Valorant is over and out.
Thank you.